or not yet ready? What about you? Go to healthychildren.org/phone ready quiz today. Just 10 short questions can help you find out. That's healthychildren.org/phone ready quiz.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's ritchielaw.com. WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Second down and 9 from the Panther 42-yard line. Sills in motion, right to left. The snap, the gift to Carter, has some room up the middle inside the 35. Ball comes out, and the Panthers say they have it.
Throw the flag.
Damani Richardson came up with the ball. The Panthers get the takeaway. Their third takeaway of the game. Andy Dalton comes in, takes the knee in victory formation. Kneel down. Panthers win it 30-0, and they win this I-85 battle against rival Atlanta. It's the first win of the season for Carolina, and boy, did they defend their lair.
Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. That is Victoria. Panthers win.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Decisively.
I had to take a double take when I saw the score.
Well, you watched the game, right?
No, I was busy. I know.
What?
I know.
You were busy?
I know. I was learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Really?
Yes.
Very nice.
So I otherwise would have been, however.
Are there classes you can take for that?
Yeah. Harley Davidson. You can't even see me. I'm just a green blob right now on our YouTube.
Yeah, look at that. What is that? You're slime.
Who knows what that is? Harley Davidson offers like riding academy classes. So yeah, you could take those.
Very nice.
It's which I would recommend.
So why? I don't understand. I mean, well, how would you knew the game was 1:00?
I know, but I had no choice. The classes are only on weekends.
Okay.
So I got to miss some football day.
Wow.
And of course it was that one. That's crap.
Got nothing for that. That's terrible. All right, before we start, and I got a really nice note I want to acknowledge in a second. But we have to start, unfortunately, with some incredibly sad news. Sean Clark, 50 years old, former App State head coach, a grad of App, passed away yesterday. He was at a hospital in Orlando, Florida. He's the offensive line coach for Central Florida. His wife, Janelle, was there. He was admitted Tuesday. I don't know a week ago Tuesday. It was a week ago Tuesday? Maybe 2 weeks ago Tuesday, the 9th of September, with what we don't know what the medical emergency was, but with whatever a medical emergency, and he was stable, but still in the hospital. Anyway, passed away last night. And it's sad for everybody. I don't profess to know Sean Clark very well. During his time at App, we probably spoke, I don't know, once or twice a year, just, on the show.
Yeah.
He seemed like a very, a very down-to-earth guy.
Yes, very nice person.
And a good football coach. Didn't work out ultimately at App, but a very good football coach. And was down on Scott Frost's staff in Orlando. But just very sad. He was 40-24 as a head coach at App. Not even sure why that matters today. But I guess these are just facts, I guess. But wife, 2 kids, 50 years old, incredibly young.
Yeah.
Incredibly young.
So sad.
So, yeah, our hearts, our thoughts go to the Clark family, Central Florida, App State, all of his friends, extended family as well. So that's the worst possible way to start the show. Now, let me just bring up something that was, I thought, nice to see, and I appreciate it. This will get people maybe in maybe a better frame of mind. Who knows? But I got a note from somebody who listens in Washington State. You never know
That's
where
far
people
away.
are going to listen.
I know.
from, right? We have a guy, Dan, in Texas. Listens to us every day.
Nice.
Actually says the app is great.
Yeah, it is.
Time to promote the app, Adam. It's a 99.9 The Fan. That's our home base. 99.9 The Fan app. You can't really see it. The cameras, there's a glare. But we tell people to watch the show all the time.
Yeah, you
look
can
at
see
that
it on the
behind us.
graphic behind you.
Yeah, you can.
The video Joe made for us.
Thank you, Video Joe. But you can watch the show on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show, or just get the app and click right here. Look at this. I wonder if I can watch me doing the show. Let's see how messed up that is.
It's like a mirror effect.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I got to turn the sound off. But anyway, the 99.9 The Fan app is great. Download that, and you can find us. But Taylor is listening in Washington State.
Oh, yeah. She's one of our faves on the YouTube stream.
Oh, is she? Big Canes fan.
Mm-hmm.
Big Canes fan. So she sent a nice note. We make her day. So I appreciate hearing things like that. So after the bad news, passing that along, our goal is to simply help you get through it. Whatever you're doing, make it that much more enjoyable. All right, let's see if we can succeed on that mission.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
The Panthers won a game. Wow.
And like in a dominant way, too.
Pitched a shutout, 30-0. Dave Canales. What worked well?
Great communication and great execution of a run plan. The guys were tied in together like a string. They played hard, set edges. They were disciplined about the gaps. We tackled well. And I'm sure there's going to be some things that we'll look at and want to fit better. But I just think about this group playing together. The more time we have together to play, to talk, to fit things up, to troubleshoot between series. I love the focus of the group and the way they finished and won. On first down, which gives us more pass ops to rush the passer, affect the passer, and then that's when you can get the ball back.
I think Dave Canales was reading from a prepared set of remarks that he wrote before the game. Anyway, Bill Belichick, back when he used to spit bars of coaching wisdom, I don't know what's going on now, always reminded us that more games are lost than won. The team that plays more mistake-free football is usually going to win. And that's really what the Panthers did, apart from the muffed punt, which could have been a disaster. But boy, did the Atlanta Falcons contribute to what we saw yesterday. So think about this. What does this remind you of? Turnovers, penalties, pre-snap shenanigans, curious play calling, the quarterback looking lost, general appearance of unpreparedness. Wait.
That's not the Panthers?
Usually the Panthers.
Yeah. Not yesterday.
It was the Falcons. They were a mess. Now, credit to the defense for making it difficult. They did come up with big plays. The Shaw Smith-Wade pick six changed the game. You could argue ended the game, although it only made it, I think, 17, right? I think it only made it 17. Mike Jackson played a good game. What have I said all summer long? The way to improve your defense, every good defense shares one great quality. It's not necessarily rushing the passer, because I'm not sure the Panthers really did yesterday. But J.C. Horn, Mike Jackson, Shaw Smith-Wade covered. There really weren't a ton of open receivers. Atlanta was a mess, and Atlanta could have made bigger plays. Michael Penix was no good. But there was also good play in Carolina's secondary, and to me, that's how you impact the defense. First quarter is an example of how you lose games in this league, by the way. I would like to know who's calling plays for Atlanta. You decided you weren't going to use Bijan Robinson for 75% of your offense. Don't understand why. They missed a field goal. Then they missed another field goal. In between, the Panthers had a great drive for a touchdown. Right? Let's not forget that they did score again early. I don't understand Atlanta's clock management at the end of the half. Don't care. Don't care. Stuff we see poorly coached teams do. And I like Raheem Morris. I don't know what that was. But the pick six ended the game. Now go back real quick. Bryce Young. They did a great opening drive to score that touchdown. Bryce carrying it in from the 4.
Feel great. I mean, I'm super proud of this team. Just complete team performance. All three phases. Defense, special teams. I mean, they played phenomenal all night. So this is great. We have a 24-hour rule, so I'm happy. And then it's 1 week, so for now it's great. And then we come back tomorrow. Sorry, I think I knocked over someone's mic. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll watch the film, see what we can, we can replicate, see what we can learn from, and turn the page. But it feels good right now.
See, the best type of win is a win where you obviously there's stuff good that you take from it, and I think all the good that Carolina takes from it is a clean game offensively. Again, other than the muff punt, and a very solid game defensively. But if we're being honest, they were far from good offensively. There were as many dropped passes as there were touchdowns scored on offense. Actually, I think there were more dropped passes. I'm not sure Tenero and McMillan didn't have more dropped passes than the Panthers had touchdowns. So they could be better offensively because they weren't. They had less than 250 total yards. So it wasn't like they were just cruising with the ball. They did enough. By the way, Ryan Fitzgerald looks like might be a keeper. He didn't get a field goal blocked yesterday, did he?
Nope.
You ever see anything like what we
rare.
saw?
No. No.
Let me see. Rams, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Jets, Buccaneers, Dallas, it was Giants, Kansas City. They didn't have the Giants didn't have a kicker, but he got a field goal blocked. There were at least 4. I think there were more.
Yeah, it was
Might have
a
been
lot.
5 field goals. It was crazy.
For 1 week, 1 day.
I mean, there were 2 of them in the Eagles-Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
Last one was, of course, one of the all-time bad beats. We'll discuss that later. But weird, wild end to that football game. But good for the Panthers. They are now 1-2, and we'll see if they can back it. Look, New England ain't good. Remember when I said New England was going to make the playoffs? They're not. They're not.
Yeah, I thought they would be better. I know it's still early, but yeah.
You know what? I think we're all learning. And we have a lot of quarterbacks who are hurt right now, right? You've got J.J. McCarthy, Burrow's out, Purdy is out.
Justin Fields, I think, is still out.
Well, he did not play this week. It was Tyrod
Right.
Taylor. So there's a bunch of quarterbacks out. But of the young quarterbacks who are playing, they're all a mess. None of them look really good yet.
No.
We watch Bryce every week, and I know there are people who think he's never going to be good. I disagree. But the first 3 games of this year have not been awesome. They have not stamped him, oh, yep, we're good. C.J. Stroud, a mess. Michael Penix, a mess. Caleb Williams, no, I mean, he was good yesterday. That could have been Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas makes you look good.
Yeah.
Ask Russell Wilson.
We'll see if he can do it 2 weeks in a row, too.
Look, it's just been bad quarterbacking all the way around. All right. Speaking of quarterbacking, Duke went to NC State, looked like to be in complete command of that game. Duke scores a touchdown to make it 20-13, a great catch in the end zone. And then the play that changed the game. State's maybe going to go put more points on the board before the end of the first half. There's a maybe offside. I know. We've Zapruder filmed it up, people. I get it. Oh, it looks like he just timed. I don't know if it's offside or not. Did he move at exactly the same time the ball starts moving on the snap? Yes. Of course, physically you can't react that quickly. Nobody can. It is humanly impossible. So he got lucky that he moved at the exact time the ball was snapped. 99 times out of 100, they call that offside. 99 times out of 100. Miss me with your, we've slowed it down to the 1/1000th of a second. Stow it. Anyway, they got away with it. The guy who might have jumped off, he wasn't even involved in the play. There was pressure on an inside rusher, and C.J. Bailey threw a bad interception. A terrible interception, and that flipped the game. Changed it. Duke goes into the half with the lead when they were 100% outplayed by NC State. 100%. And then in the second half, Darian Mensah and Duke's offense outplayed C.J. Bailey and State's offense considerably. I didn't see that coming. I thought it would just be State, look, this is what we are. We'll be fine. Our defense will be okay in the second half. None of it happened. Duke was the better team in the second half. Mensah was better than Bailey. Big plays all over the place. And Duke is now 2-2. And State is 3-1. So visions of 6-0 are gone. All right, let me move on. We'll talk more about that later. Let me move on to Carolina's game against Central Florida. Carolina will do well to make a bowl game this year. They will do well.
Right.
That will be, whew.
Wow.
Completely outmanned by Central.
Right.
You should really know the name of the school you're playing, Bill. I'm way more offended by that than I am with boots and miniskirt on the sideline before the game.
What are we doing? We know what we're doing.
Well, yes. I keep saying this. I have zero problem with it. I do appreciate the memes. Have you seen?
Oh, I'm looking them up now.
Can I get money to go to the concession stand? So funny. I died.
Oh, wow.
Look, ultimately, it's probably 2 hours before the game or an hour before. I don't care.
Oh, I see it.
He's just walking around.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she wants to say. I have no idea. I don't care. It doesn't impact football. It's just, it becomes something else for knuckle-dragging morons to glom onto.
Right, and that's one thing that we've talked about till we were UNC blue in the face, is we don't want this to be the distraction from the football.
Like, the football's terrible.
Yeah.
They're no good.
Maybe they need the distraction.
I was watching that game, and it was obvious. They have, no good players. Gio Lopez is not an ACC-level quarterback. I hope he's not really injured. He got hurt again. Max Johnson came in. He threw a touchdown pass, but Max Johnson isn't really an ACC-level quarterback. They don't have one. I'm not sure they have any ACC-caliber players. I wish they did. It doesn't look like they do.
It's not fun when you stink like that.
They're just terrible. And I don't see it getting much better. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe they'll get well against Clemson. What? Yeah. Maybe they'll get well against Clemson.
Yeah.
That's the next game.
Allow that.
Well, Dabo can't do anything.
I know. Dabo's got a lot to say.
Dabo was lost in his fields. Wait till you hear that later. We're going to play this later on. Wait till you hear Dabo Sweeney after that loss. Oh, Dabo, relax. Sometimes it just ain't your year. This look, all the talent in the world. It speaks to sports sometimes doesn't work out the way you think. No matter how much talent you've got, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you think. Football, team sport. You need everybody doing their job for it to work. I don't know where it's breaking down for Clemson, but it's breaking down somewhere on both sides of the ball. They're bad on both sides. All right, we're going to take a break. Will Brinson's going to join us. Panthers, field goals being blocked everywhere. And is it possible that this year's Eagles are essentially last year's Chiefs? We'll explain next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Pack Therapy is in session, thanks to First Horizon Bank. It's Tim Donnelly from 99.9 The Fan, alongside legendary Wolfpack play caller Mike Glennon.
Every episode of Pack Therapy is your chance to get dialed in with inside information on your team.
We'll set you up for every Wolfpack game all season long.
And we'll break down every contest, what went right and what could have worked better.
Plus, special guests to keep Wolfpack hope alive.
Follow and subscribe to Pack Therapy wherever you discover your favorite podcast, and watch every episode on YouTube.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. Scenario, which, by the way, was a pretty good song back in the day. But let's get to your mortgage and how we save money. You went in for a mortgage. You were duped into paying closing costs. And now, with the rates a point lower than they were 6 months ago, you're wondering, should I refinance? Yes, you should, but did you waste closing cost money? That's why you never go anywhere but Miller Lending, home of the original no closing cost mortgage, because you get your mortgage without paying thousands of dollars, and then when the rates come down, as they have, you simply refinance again without paying closing costs, free of charge, free mortgage, and you lower your monthly payment. By the way, if your mortgage is about $400,000, the point lower, $260 a month. Miller Lending. Always be not paying closing costs. It's not quite the same quote, but always be not paying closing costs. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
Ready to plug into the future? Charge ahead at Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford with up to $7,000 off a new 2025 Chevy Blazer EV LT. Includes a Wilkinson discount and customer cash. See dealer for details. Plus, this is the last month to get a $7,500 federal EV tax credit too. This electrifying deal ends at the end of this month, so hurry to Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford or online at wilkinsoncars.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
I'm a wife and the mother of 2 kids. And when I get to work in the precinct house and put on my uniform, I can tell you, as a police officer, we're building partnerships. This should be happening everywhere, so the police should be reaching out to this community. And this community should reach out to the police. That's the way to make this a safer place.
Start the conversation and help stop crime. To learn the 5 things you can do, go to ncpc.org/prevent violent crime. A message from the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
This is Adam Gold.
You know, soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
Week 3 is almost in the books. We do have Detroit at Baltimore tonight. Fascinating, juicy, tantalizing matchup. But let's go back and sort the Sunday pile with the one and only Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. Before we get to the fact that I believe the 25 Eagles are the 24 Chiefs, I'll explain why people misunderstood me on Twitter. No way. The Atlanta Falcons reminded me of somebody or a team, a different team than the Falcons yesterday. Let's see, turnovers, penalties, pre-snap shenanigans, curious play calling. The quarterback looked lost. They looked generally unprepared. They reminded me of the Panthers. What happened to them? Did they just drive up the morning of the game? Did they practice this week? That was one of the most curious performances I've ever seen because the Panthers won 30-0, but I don't think the Panthers were great. I think the Panthers were just there.
Yeah, I think the Panthers' defense was really good yesterday,
yeah, it
which
was.
is a welcome surprise. Yeah, maybe that defense is not the worst defense in football after all. And I don't know. The Bears and Cowboys are pretty bad, man.
The Cowboys and Dolphins, yes, are awful.
Dolphins, yeah. Panthers. I think there's a chance. I think there's a decent chance the Panthers are not a bottom 5 defense.
Okay,
which is not saying something great. It's just like, it's an improvement over what we thought.
Right.
But yeah, like Atlanta, Penix looked super anxious and jumpy and was never really comfortable. It's a game where if you're a serious football team with serious aspirations of making the playoffs and winning the division, you have Tampa Bay, 3 straight games. They stormed down the field. Baker Mayfield, game-winning touchdown, setting up a game-winning score that's a field goal or throwing a touchdown. And then you have a Falcons team that, in theory, wants to compete with them and goes to Carolina against a Panthers team that, wasn't like last stand or anything like that. But if the Panthers had gotten blown out again or were down, I guess they're 1-1 against the spread, but like if they'd gotten, in a situation where they just piled up a bunch of garbage time points in the fourth again, I think you, at least with David Tepper's history, have to start wondering about Dave Canales' job status. And then they go out, and I can't believe this stat. They saw it on the broadcast, so I'm going to roll with it. That was the Panthers' first 30-point victory since 2014. That is crazy. They went to a Super Bowl the year after that.
Exactly.
I mean, in terms of the Panthers covering and the Panthers winning, I'm not that shocked because it is a divisional road game.
Yep.
Everyone's counting out Carolina. Everyone says Atlanta's a sure thing. Atlanta was picked pretty, I think, 5-10% survivor leagues. And it's the NFL, right? Any given Sunday, weird stuff can happen. Well, yeah, I mean, but I'll be curious to see, is this a spark for the Panthers Are they maybe a little bit better on defense and then can kind of try to make some strides on offense moving forward? Or is this just an aberration for, I can't say that word for some reason, it's like 2 weeks in a row, for the Falcons? Or, can they bounce back? I mean, they quote unquote dominated against Minnesota, but they didn't score a touchdown until the very end. It was kind of meaningless. So, I mean, I think you have to have questions about this Falcons offense for sure moving forward. And then Carolina, it's like, how much can you build on this type of win to try and, start to re-salvage a season that looked lost 2 weeks in?
By the way, there were a bunch of people who were on the Falcons in that Vegas $18.5 million survivor pool. 7% had the Falcons. Almost 11% were on the Packers. We'll get to that as well. I'm not surprised that Carolina won the game, mostly because Atlanta's not awesome. I thought Atlanta certainly could have set themselves up for more success. I still don't understand. If you're good at running the ball and the Panthers are across the other line of scrimmage, I don't understand why that isn't the obvious concentration on your offense until and when the Panthers stop you. They put you in a position where, all right, the run isn't going to work for us today. But they didn't do that. And I don't understand. By the way, the Cardinals didn't do it either the previous week. And I will forever be baffled by what I believe to be simple things. It's obviously not that easy, because if it were, then those teams would do it. So they're obviously seeing other things. I don't know who was calling plays for the Falcons, but they put way too much on Michael Penix. And by the way, this has not been a great start to the season for any young quarterbacks. They all look trash. Penix doesn't look good. C.J. Stroud doesn't look good. Drake May doesn't. It's a mess all over the league. Caleb Williams looked good against Dallas's defense, but then again, Russell Wilson looked good against Dallas's defense. So let me move on to the what I said before was that the Eagles this year remind me of the Chiefs last year. How many games last year did the Chiefs win based on the other team blowing it?
It was at least like 3 or 4,
right,
I think. I mean, they ended up going like 7-2. I think it was 7-2. Maybe it was even like 9-2 in one-score games.
Missed field goals, Missed field goals, drop passes. I mean, the Rams should have won the game, right?
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you talk about an all-time bad beat. The Rams were one of the 5 plays in the Rams plus 3.5 were one of the 5 consensus plays in the Circa Millions contest. And I mean, there is no way that's not covering until all of a sudden Jordan Davis, who weighs 336 pounds, is running 40 miles an hour with the ball off a blocked field goal to score. And, I was pointing out on the group chat, I said, like, ATW, I was like, look, I mean, the smart thing is probably to go down.
Right.
And my buddy Nathan Busher correctly pointed out, he's like, that dude might get 2 or 3 touchdowns in his life. There is no chance he's going down when he gets that ball in his hand. And I get it. But yeah, like that is the only beat that I can remember worse in recent memory where it's just like, there's just, the Rams are lining up for a game-winning field goal.
Right.
Worst case, he misses, or worst case, it's blocked and he's tackled because the Eagles are winning. So if they get the ball, like they're not like incentivized.
It's
to go
over.
and score. And the only one I can remember was worse was it Washington and the Chiefs when Alex Smith was on the Chiefs? Maybe Washington plus 7 on Monday Night Football, and there was some pitchy woo woo at the end.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was like somehow Washington lost by 10 or something.
I remember.
Ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, like, but that is about as bad a beat as you can get. If you had Rams plus 3.5, I somebody like FanDuel or DraftKings or something, somebody needs to issue a we're sorry promo bet.
Right.
Or
I'll give you a bonus bet.
Or something like that.
Anybody who had the Rams plus 3.5, you get a bonus bet.
On the game itself, like the Eagles, I think one of the things you have to take away from it is, okay, look at them opening up the offense a little bit. That was interesting.
Yeah.
They should do that more. They started to do it only out of necessity, and it actually worked, throwing downfield to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts ended up having a monster game. I think it does show you when they are clicking that they are one of the most dangerous offenses in football.
Yep.
Defensively, very good team, and Philly's just going to be there at the end probably. I do think the Rams and just the way that they played the first half, and now like Sean McVay will, for as smart and young, smart coach, he will, I don't want to say turtle up a little bit, but I think he believed he could run the ball, win that game with his defense, and it just backfired a little bit. He probably needed to keep their foot on the gas. That's a lesson learned. But I think this Rams team is, top 10 team in football.
I agree.
Whether it's 5, 6, 7, they're very good across the board. Matthew Stafford playing some awesome football right now. I think it's just sort of one of those fluky, crazy NFL games that ends in an outcome that maybe doesn't totally show us what happened in that game.
No, I agree. If Matthew Stafford stays healthy, the Rams, I wouldn't be completely shocked if we saw the Rams and the Eagles again. In the maybe in an NFC championship game setting.
I will point out too that like the Rams had a really good chance to go 3-0.
Yeah.
And on the other side, or not on the other side, but in the late window, the 49ers, with Mac Jones for the second straight week, found a way to win and get to 3-0. George Kittle on IR, Brock Purdy ruled out before the game, but is close to coming back. Christian McCaffrey looks really good. That defense, I think, can sort of start to come together as the season goes on. And, if you're the Rams, like that's just, it's one of those weeks where if you win that game and the 49ers lose to the Cardinals, you're at the top of the division and feeling really good. And now all of a sudden, that division looks tough. Seattle was blew out.
Yes.
New Orleans, like unbelievable fashion yesterday. They were up 21-0 before you get YouTube TV like queued up. And the Cardinals, I don't know that I'm scared of the Cardinals, but they're at least a competent mid-level team. So
I don't know. I'm way off the Cardinals. I will say that the Seahawks were the Hobag survival pool selection of the week.
Yeah, they were 40%.
Yes,
and depending on which Survivor League you're in, they got you there. It was like the Seahawks and the Bills, and then the Packers. But my overall point is just that that's a game where if you're the Rams, you're at probably 95 to 99% win percentage in that game at various points, and to lose it on the road against a defending Super Bowl champ to get to it's just one of those that when you get to week 18 and we're looking at who's got a bye, who's hosting a playoff game, who's going on the road, and all of a sudden you're second in the division instead of first, and instead of hosting, it's not going to be the Cowboys, but you're hosting, I don't know who you're hosting. Instead of hosting a 5, 6, 7 seed, suddenly you're one of those 5, 6, 7 seeds, and you have to go to Philadelphia instead. And that could be the difference between going home in the middle of January and maybe playing in February.
Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com, joining us as we sort the Sunday pile. When we think back on Week 3, we're just going to think about blocked field goals, right?
That was, the witching hour. I don't watch Red Zone just because I
right. I don't either.
I bring a second TV out and just roll 8 games at once. And then like Washington and Las Vegas were the sacrificial lamb this week once that game got out of hand. But it should have been Carolina really. Yeah. But the the witching hour is a real thing, and you see some, varies week to week, varies season to season. That was one of the wildest 20-minute stretches I can remember in the NFL, in that 1 o'clock window where you had the Rams field goal block back to the house to cover for the Eagles. You had the Jets block a field goal to the house to take the lead against the Buccaneers on the road with a backup quarterback as a nearly touchdown dog in a quadruple revenge game, apparently, because Baker Mayfield decided to throw shade at Steve Wilkes in the post game, and Todd Bowles against his old team for the first time. And then, of course, the Packers and the Browns, where, Cleveland fought its precious little heart out as long as it could, played great defense, kept staying in the game. Quinshon Judkins looks awesome, ran the ball really well. Flacco didn't make any monster mistakes. and then Green Bay's just going to stroll in and kick a field goal to win, and they block it, and next thing you know, Cleveland's banging home a big one for the biggest upset of the season.
It was wild in that all those blocked field goals happened in like a 10-minute stretch. It was utterly maddening. As we say goodbye, real quick, tonight, you couldn't have, theoretically, it seems like a contrast, right? Detroit and Baltimore, except that both of these offenses are dual threat, high power. I mean, the Lions can run the ball as well as anybody. Now, it's the Ravens, theoretically, this is what we think. The Ravens are all about running the football, and they are. But Lamar Jackson is awesome at throwing. So is any team going to be able to stop the other?
They played in 2023 in like week 7, maybe, and the Ravens beat the Lions. The Lions not peak Lions, but up there Lions in terms of their offensive potency. And the Ravens beat them like 38-6 or 38-3. It was an absolute bloodbath. I think that is a little bit on the table just because of how dominant Baltimore can be, and if you just paint a scenario where it's prime time, maybe it's a little. I don't think it's going to be like rainy or anything, but like it might just be a little like Baltimore gross, right?
Right.
Jared Goff, you're down 21 points, having to throw the ball a ton. And then Derrick Henry just gets downhill and keeps ripping off long runs. I could see that. I don't think the Lions can blow out the Ravens. But this is the highest total we've seen this year, I believe, 53.5. It's a monster number, especially for two teams that have had good defenses in the past. But yeah, I think we should get some fireworks tonight. You can parlay the 4 most likely touchdown scorers, and if you get 4 a touchdown exacta, pretty good work. And it pays out like 12-1, which is just ridiculous.
I mean, Derrick Henry's minus 200 to score a touchdown.
Should be.
Right, I get it. Yeah, it should be. But
I will say that the interesting market too, if you look at it, is first touchdown scorer.
Yeah.
Because ordinarily, if it were like Baltimore and Cleveland, Derrick Henry would be like plus 300. He's like 6-1 or something like that, I think. And that's primarily because if the Lions win the toss, and you won't know this until we get to the kickoff, if the Lions win the toss, I think everyone believes there's a decent chance they can script out something where they go down and score. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do win the toss, or I guess if Baltimore wins in the first, whatever you want. But
right.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions won the toss, if they decided to take the ball first and try to score, because there is nothing more debilitating. Remember that Monday, I think it was Sunday or Monday night last year, Bills and Ravens. First play from scrimmage, Derrick Henry, 80 yards. There is nothing more debilitating. It was Sunday night, yeah. But there's nothing more debilitating than that, just soul-crushing Derrick Henry 7 yards a carry or Derrick Henry jailbreak on that first possession. I think it'll be a shootout. I think it'll be fun. I'd lay the points of the Ravens if you twisted my arm, but I think there's some good player props and stuff out there for tonight where it's just it's going to be a shootout and you're going to see lots of points. So that's kind of the market I would look at.
I'm going to have a corner of my eye on that game as the Hurricanes take on the Lightning for the first preseason game. All right, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. Thank you so much, sir. I will talk to you next week.
Go Ryder, go America. Ryder Cup.
By the way, Europe plus 170 right now on FanDuel.
Stinky. That is stinky.
Plus 170.
I mean, the European team does no long tangent or anything, but the European team obviously is better.
Yeah, I think so.
As a whole?
I think so.
But, I mean, they are going to be treated very poorly at Bethpage.
Yes, they are.
I want to be a visitor there.
Yes, they are. All right, man, we'll sort it out next week. Thanks.
All right, buddy. See you, man.
But that is true. It's 170. Plus 170. A tie in the Ryder Cup is plus 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
No.
I know I'm going to be distracted on Friday.
I know. I was going to say.
There's a very good chance that the entire show will be recorded.
Yeah. We'll just do the show beforehand.
Very good chance.
I'll be back here pressing buttons and you'll watch that.
Bump music will be running. Adam, it's time. We're back.
Hey, we're here.
I'm sorry.
I'll be waving over here.
Exactly.
And if anyone's wondering, my camera's not going to work today as of so far.
Oh, really? It's unfortunate.
So, because we've had people talk about it on the stream. I was a green block. And now it's
slimed.
Now I'm a voice.
She was slimed. All right, we're going to break. We'll come back. We got one-timers. You can ask any question you want. If you go to the chat at 99 at the on YouTube,
there.
YouTube 99.9 The Fan, Adam Gold Show. Either way, you get to us. You can ask, put all of your questions in. Excuse me, right there. David Hale will join us next hour. We'll talk ACC football. But one-timers is next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And FanDuel is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, yards, touchdowns, money lines. Anything can be your play of the game. And FanDuel is giving all customers a 50% profit boost token tonight on the Lions and Ravens. Heck of a game. So, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown? Sure. Lamar Jackson, touchdown passes, rushing yards, passing yards, everything. Amon-Ra St. Brown's amazing. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. Have fun. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
You've only got so many weekends. Spend one doing something nobody saw coming. Is it a party, a festival, a race? It's all of that, and all at once. Concerts, tailgating, unbelievable action, 100 reasons to say this is actually awesome. It's fast, it's wild. It's the cutoff race in NASCAR's playoffs, the Wild Card Weekend. The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 5th. Get tickets at charlottemotorspeedway.com.
Whether it's helping you work, save, or steer clear from fraud, AARP North Carolina is making sure your money, health, and happiness live as long as you do. Each week, AARP Without Limits meets people and explores topics to help improve how we live and age in North Carolina. You can also learn more about getting the most out of life by listening to AARP Without Limits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
When people put their feet under a table, it means more than just consuming food. Getting the restaurant back open, that meant to the community a lot of normalcy. The public health department checked the wells so that we knew where we could get water that was able to be used.
And it was neighbor helping neighbor, and I'm so proud to work in this little small county.
NC Public Health, everywhere, every day, everyone.
Turning 65 soon? Navigating Medicare can be overwhelming and confusing, but you're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help. SHIP counselors can help you understand Medicare benefits to make your best choices. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
What is dedication?
I think a parent's job is to protect our children, but also prepare them so they become good, kind human beings.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov.
This is Adam Gold.
Soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. This is one of the best Stevie songs. Who is this?
Oh, Ja Rule?
I know I've not heard this cover of Do I Do.
Yeah. It's this is like early 2000s, I think, but yeah.
Are we putting out your playlist today?
I can. Yeah.
You should.
I started. Did you hear what I started with?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
It was Celebration by Cool and the Gang.
Really? I missed that?
Nobody could see my Panthers shirt that I'm wearing for this win. So I played happy celebration music.
So maybe that was why I was thinking about my bar mitzvah like 30 minutes ago.
Probably. Yes.
Never mind. Yeah, everybody did that. It wasn't just mine. Everybody did that back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That song slapped back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should put out your playlist.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make a note of it so I don't forget.
Okay. All right, let's do one-timers.
Okay, so our YouTube stream is kind of full of Panthers or Hurricanes.
It's full of Panthers.
It's full of a lot of wonderful people. And so, first up, William had asked about Sean Clark, and he wanted to know maybe a fun story, memory, or interaction that we've had with him.
Like I said before, I'd only spoken with him a couple of times a year when he was the head coach.
Yeah.
So I feel bad, but I didn't really have a chance to get to. It's not that I have a chance. I just didn't really get to know him.
Yeah.
I've always known him to be super down to earth.
Yeah.
Like our conversations with him were more casual than they were nuts and bolts about the team and the league and all that kind of stuff. I do remember talking with him a couple of years ago about how the new system of college football and how it was going to legitimately give group of 5 or group of 6, I guess, conference schools a legitimate chance at the playoff as opposed to previous years when they really didn't have a chance at being in the 4. I know Cincinnati as an American conference school, a few years ago did play in the playoff. They got squashed, but this was going to give a group of 5 school an opportunity. So we talked about that, but I really don't have anything personal because I didn't talk to him enough. So I apologize for that. I just know him to be down to earth.
Yeah. I know anytime I talked to him on the phone, he was always happy to talk because I told him I went to App. And so
he went to App.
You could hear his smile in his voice.
That's the thing about it is that he was one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw Scott Satterfield put some stuff out on social media. Like, yeah, it's just a sad day.
Yeah. So. Well, next up, we have another one that says, what are y'all's thoughts on the broadcasters in the Panthers game, which we've established that I was a little busy, so I did not hear I know what it's been before, so you'll have to fill me in.
So here's the Matt Millen was doing he was the analyst, former Super Bowl champion. He's a wonderful player, not a very good executive with the Detroit Lions, but here's the thing. Several times during the game, I had a tweet about something that Matt Millen said that made no sense at all. And I deleted it 4 times at least. Finally, he said something excessively dumb, empty, meaningless, generic, and I just went, man, Matt Millen is stealing Fox's money today. It was as though he spent zero time preparing for the game. Had no clue what was going on, didn't know names. It was embarrassing. I thought if anybody at Fox was paying attention, Matt Millen won't work again this year. Now, I don't know how much he works, to be honest, but he was terrible, and it did the game a disservice for people who were watching the game with the sound on. It was really bad. So, but it was, I got nothing for that.
Sounds terrible.
It was just awful.
This one is kind of combining a couple of them. This one from Brandon and someone's named MM30. So, do you think that the Canes are going to go after Hart or any of the other guys recently allowed back into the NHL once they are eligible? If not, are we in the hunt for Kaprizov, which leads into the other question about, is it a fantasy to think the Canes might go after Kaprizov?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go after Kaprizov, but, I mean, it's possible. He's not, he's an incredible goal scorer. It would take a lot to get him, whatever. I think it's a fantasy. I will simply direct you to episode 1. Episode 3 also, or 3 or 4 of the Countdown to Puck Drop. This, week-long nightly podcast I've been doing. Went into it pretty in-depth. The Hurricanes are not going to go after Carter. Well, they inquired about Carter Hart. They were definitely interested. But he's going to sign in the Western Conference. Michael McLeod, it was reported Thursday that the expectation is that he will sign with Carolina. And I went into it in more detail than I can do right now. Fans are always asked to make moral decisions. You love your team, but your team might have unsavory characters on it. And how do you deal with it? Dabo had a tough weekend.
From the Heels
Touchdown, Carolina!
to the Canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Tonight, your forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Stankoven with a shot. He scores! Logan Stankoven. And for the first time in this series, the Canes have a lead.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck Drop at 7.
Svechnikov hands it off. Empty net. Bingo! Sebastian Aho!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. My name is Angie, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. How can I help you today?
Great. You're still there. It must be like 3 a.m.
We're always here 24/7. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, but I wanted to ask you about the best place to set up my router.
It's never too late. We'll have you up and running in no time.
Only Spectrum has 24/7, 100% U.S.-based customer support. It's only everything. Spectrum fiber-powered internet. It's the fastest and most reliable internet. Go to Spectrum.com to learn more.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Use the free tool. Learn if the online pharmacy you're using is safe.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at richielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Chuba Hubbard, the lone setback. Here's the snap, play action. Young looking for room to run. Flush to the outside. He's got the corner. He's got the 5, the 2, in for the touchdown. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The tight end is Pitts. Shotgun snap on 4th down. Penix fires, intercepted, near sideline. Mike Jackson, he's got the 40, midfield, outside the numbers, 35, breaks a tackle at the 30, stops on a dime. Go the other way. And now finally he goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
What? The Panthers won a game.
I know.
They didn't give up any points.
I'm wearing Panther gear and nobody can see it today, but it's happening. I got to break it out when I can.
Victoria's camera's broken.
I know. Maybe from all of my excitement from this weekend.
You would never break a camera. I'm surprised this one hasn't shattered. The Panthers not only won, they pitched a shutout, 30-0. And there's a lot to like about what that game was. And I will simply start with, they didn't make any mistakes. Well, I mean, there was the muff punt, which could have set Atlanta up. It's rare where you see a team that clearly looks unprepared in the NFL. It really is. I know we think that the Panthers are unprepared. And at times it looks like it. We'd be foolish to lie. The Atlanta Falcons looked like they were not ready to play.
Which is so surprising, because their last game, you would think they're just going to come in here and, raise problems.
They have a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And I think they're well coached. You couldn't tell that yesterday.
No.
It was really, if I were a Falcons fan, that was a really curious performance, because there was a formula not to win, not to guarantee a win, because we'd be stupid if there were any guarantees at all in the NFL. Anybody can beat anybody. What is the saying? On any given Sunday or Thursday or Monday. It's pro football. The worst team pays their players. Who's the worst team? Dolphins.
Yeah.
They still pay their players.
Yeah.
That game with the Bills, I know what the final score was. Miami had a chance.
I know.
In that game. So, and the Bills might be the best team. I don't know. They're certainly among them. And Miami might be the worst team. They're certainly among them. Anybody can beat anybody. But there was a formula for the Falcons to be no worse than in it with a chance in the fourth quarter. And they refused to use that formula. You run the ball really well. You have one of the best running backs in the sport. You want to run the ball, take pressure off your young quarterback. And they really didn't do that. Although, when they ran it, they were super successful. They had over 100 yards rushing, 130-some-odd yards rushing. They averaged nearly 6 yards a carry. I don't understand why that wasn't like 60% of their offense. But it wasn't. They insisted on letting Michael Penix sling it around the yard, and he wasn't very good. And the interception ended the game. I mean, I think it still made it just 17-0, so the game wasn't over. But that interception, I mean, completely changed. It took Atlanta out, and it allowed Carolina to be a little bit, different defensively. Look, as 30-0 blowouts go, there wasn't a ton that you went, man, we were great at this today. It was the weirdest 30-0 blowout I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really remember anything, super good that they did offensively.
Yeah.
They were fine. They gained less than 250 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They had the ball and still didn't gain that many yards. They kicked some good field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, with a 50-some-odd yard field goal from Fitzgerald, 57-yard field goal from Fitzgerald.
57. Yeah.
Nice.
I know, right?
Been a minute since they've had that.
Our former kicker, Eddie Pinheiro,
won it for San Francisco.
For San Francisco yesterday.
It's like 2 wins. The Panthers were 2-0 yesterday.
Know. Exactly.
And if whoever Atlanta's new kicker is, I don't know who that is. And I don't know why they're using a new kicker. I don't care. He missed 2 very makeable field goals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they weren't chip shots. They were both in the, the first one was 49 yards. The next one, I think, was 45. But he misses 2 field goals. How different is it if the Falcons make those 2 field goals?
Right.
I don't know. All I know is Atlanta looked like they were throwing the game.
Yeah. And as a Panther fan, I find myself in a weird position because I'm optimistic but also realistic. And so when I hear other people say, how did Atlanta lose to the Panthers 30-0? Part of me is like, I know, right? And then the other part of me is like, hey,
right.
Have some respect on them.
Exactly. Well, and look, I'm not trying to make a joke or make this about a survivor pool, but there is a reason you don't take teams on the road.
Yeah.
Packers lost in Cleveland.
Right?
Right.
Who saw that coming?
Don't take teams on the road. And Packers are lining up for a game-winning field goal. It's blocked. Cleveland, 5 plays later, kicks their own game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
So there was only 20, I think they got, after the block, there were 21 seconds on the clock. They still had to drive like 30 yards, but you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Browns
can
do that. I guess they didn't have to drive that many yards, but anyway, don't take teams on the road. Mm-mm. The worst team in the league is going to win 3, maybe 4 times, and for the most part, they'll all be home games.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you roll the dice on that? Anyway, let's take 2. David Hale will join us in about 15 minutes. ESPN.com ACC writer. Let's start with Dave Canales. And what did he like? What worked in the win?
That's the vision that I have for our team, to play together, to play great defense, win first down. Great communication and great execution of a run plan. The guys were tied in together like a string. They played hard, set edges. They were disciplined about the gaps. We tackled well. And I'm sure there's going to be some things that we'll look at and want to fit better. But I just think about this group playing together. The more time we have together to play, to talk, to fit things up, to troubleshoot between series. I love the focus of the group and the way they finished and won, on first down, which gives us more pass ops to rush the passer, affect the passer, and then that's when you can get the ball back.
I want to thank Atlanta for contributing to the mess that was the Falcons, but I thought Carolina's secondary played really well, and if that can continue, their defense will look better. I'm not fooled by thinking that we saw a defense that turned a corner. They still really don't put any pressure on the quarterback, and you can run through them if you try. Atlanta did not try. Why? I do not know. I ain't asking questions. Good for the Panthers. They feel good about themselves today. Now go and do it again against a team that is also struggling, the New England Patriots on Sunday at Bank of America Stadium. Drake May's homecoming.
I know. Look at that.
Yeah, he's not good
Yeah.
so far for New England. All right, college game. Saturday, late afternoon, I guess. Wallace-Wade Stadium. Man, was State in command until late. The interception right before the half totally flipped the game. So I will ask this question, and it's a rhetorical one. Was that offside? I know we've Zapruder filmed it. It's right at the snap. The guy breaks across the line of scrimmage. We'll call that fortuitous because I think that's called offside almost all the time, regardless. As it turned out, it really went at the exact same time. So, great officiating. Sure. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But that wasn't the player who got to C.J. Bailey anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That is a bad interception to throw. It's unfortunate because Bailey has been spectacular, but that was a bad interception to throw, and that didn't end the game because it only made it 21-20, but it completely flipped momentum going into halftime. Dave Doran on the call.
It's a hard count play. We don't even have a play called unless they jump off sides. If they jump off sides, we snap the ball and take a free shot knowing that we got 5. Center's not supposed to snap it unless he knows somebody's in the neutral zone. Jalen thought that their DN was in the neutral zone when he snapped the football. The refs didn't think that. It's a play where CJ in that situation has to see there's not a flag and throw it away. And he was trying to make a play right there. It's unfortunate. I mean, from our sideline, I thought he was offside. From the ref's standpoint, he wasn't, and it's not reviewable. So it's a tough play in the game. You know, it was 4th and 3. We're trying to get them to jump, and if they don't, I was going to bang a timeout and kick a field goal. We weren't even going to run a play right there.
Okay. And unfortunately, it really did change the momentum of the game. I don't want to lose sight of the touchdown catch the previous possession for Duke, which was spectacular. I think I was on a 4th down play, too. Blue Devils were really good. Darian Mensah was better than C.J. Bailey. I mean, Mensah's really good, too. So Mensah was better than Bailey. There were tons of big plays. Hollywood Smothers was excellent. I thought State made a ton of big plays offensively, but so did Duke. They had some big runs in the game. We could sit here and nitpick a lot of things, but the bottom line is State didn't play a clean game. Duke did. You see what happens when that's the case. Because Duke, I thought, outplayed Illinois except for all of the mistakes. And you can make an argument that State was in great position until the mistakes started piling up.
Did you see that Illinois and Indiana game? What?
When Chip Patterson comes on Wednesday, he's going to read me the riot act. But Indiana deserves their flowers.
Yes.
They took it to Illinois.
Showed out.
Oh, my. 60-something. Wow, I was
crazy.
Massive. Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
I never said they were bad. I'm like, just play somebody.
Sure.
And they finally played somebody and kicked them in the, kicked them right in the Illini. It was just no contest. All right. We talked about Carolina before. We'll get into them with David Hale. I just don't think the Tar Heels have any good players. That's what it really comes down to. I hope Gio Lopez will make a full recovery. The indications are it's not anything that's season-ending. But, man, North Carolina's no good. All right. How it started, how it finished type of deal? All right. How it started midweek, Dabo Sweeney hearing it from Clemson fans, media members, blah, blah, blah. Here's Dabo sending his message to the people who doubt the Tigers.
If they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back.
All right,
this is a program built to last.
We'll be okay. Fast forward, Saturday, not okay. They gave up almost 500 yards of offense to Syracuse. Now, they put up 500 yards of offense. Of course, they were down the entire game. It seemed like it was 24-7 almost immediately in favor of the Orange. Oh, by the way, that game was in Clemson, South Carolina. Wasn't like you went up to the Dome and got beat. No, Syracuse showed up at Death Valley and kicked your rear end.
And Death Valley is supposed to be tough, hence Death Valley.
Unbelievable. Here's Dabo after the game.
Just, I mean, disappointed, painful. I mean, hurt. I mean, I'm human. I mean, I'm not a cyborg. I mean, this is my life, man. I mean, I've been here 23 years. I love this place. I give this place the very best I got every single day. Every day. There's never been a day that I haven't given Clemson every ounce of everything I had. I hurt. I mean, I've invested my life here. And when I don't get the job done, I'm responsible. And I feel the pain. You know, it's not just my pain. I feel everybody's pain. And, you know, but that comes with my job. And I don't run from that.
Dabo, all in his feels. They're 1-3. And I will say this. The win was probably the least impressive of the 4 performances because they were outclassed by Troy.
You can print that,
tweet that. I would say that to this to Dabo, I'm not sure it's about you. Yes, not sure it's about you. I understand you're getting the brunt of the criticism, but really isn't about you. It's about your players. And, gosh, I wonder to think about what they're going through as a group. But they're getting beat on both sides of the ball. The line of scrimmage are getting dominated. I mean, it is amazing to see what is going on. And remember, it's not like Florida State last year where they were bringing in players from everywhere, and it was easy for them to splinter. This is, for the most part, a group that's been together. It ain't working. So I hope they get it together. But right now, North Carolina, best chance to get a feel-good. Take care of the Clemson Tigers, Tar Heels. Yeah. They got a week off before that game. North Carolina plays once in a 26-day span.
Oh, wow.
I don't even understand that.
How do you do that?
Yeah, once in a 26-day span. All right, well, David Hale, ACC.com, ACC writer extraordinaire, joins us next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
The rest of this Panthers season is on the general manager, Dan Morgan. From the moment he took over, he talked about wanting dogs. He wanted to find dogs to put on the roster. Well, if he did that, then we're going to see it. We're going to see fight. We're going to see scrap. We're going to see teams that won't take getting pushed around by anybody. Or they'll cower. It's all on him.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
It's Bo time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate. no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Your heart. It's the only one you have. Fortunately, you also have a choice. Expert cardiologists, talented surgeons, highly skilled specialists, all of whom chose WakeMed. Why? The main reason is the same reason patients choose WakeMed. Everything you need for the best possible care is right here. Learn more at wakemed.org. WakeMed Heart and Vascular Physicians. Your heart, your choice.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Gold. Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what do we... What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Honored to be joined by David Hale from ESPN. He and his colleague, also our friend Andrea Adelson, host ACC Inside Access on the ACC Network. And David was honored by the Football Writers Association of America for a feature story that he wrote, I guess, a year ago about Davin Vann, NC State defensive lineman. First place. Do you get a blue ribbon?
Yeah, I'm going to put it right next to my participation trophies, which are filling up most of the bookshelf right now, but I'm very excited about that.
Do not disparage your own honor. I will not stand for that.
All right. I don't take compliments well.
I'm the same way.
I was not honored in compliment taking.
I am the same. I'm the same way. If there was a prize for accepting a compliment, I would not win it.
Yeah.
Talk about not winning prizes. Let's start with North Carolina. I mean, we could just talk about white high heel boots, which I didn't hate because that's the meme that's going around. But on the football field, is it just fair to say that they don't really have very many good players?
I would not stop at that, but it is certainly fair to say. Let me say from the beginning, I think Jordan Hudson is the least of North Carolina's issues. It may be indicative of where the other problems stem from, which is decision-making about who to associate himself with made by the head coach. But look, to me, there are a handful of issues here. One is just the larger, we're going to come in and create the 33rd NFL team. Like, it ain't that simple. Right. There's a track record of college guys being bad in the NFL and vice versa. They are the same sport, but not the same business. The second is exactly what you point out. It's not a talented roster. And look, when you run a bunch of dudes off and you try to turn over your roster in one off season, this is the risk that you run. And everybody kind of pointed to Dion turning around Colorado. Well, yes, but Colorado was a one-win team the year before that. A lot of those guys probably needed to go. And two, he didn't win that many games the next year. He was just better.
He won 4.
Right. And this is, the thing that's missed in this is 2 years ago, 3 years ago, turning over your roster was different than it was this offseason when you have rev share and everybody's emptying out their coffers for their collective, and schools are much more aware of what is required to retain their best talent. Like I've talked to a dozen or more coaches about the spring portal, in which UNC took 30 players, and every single coach that I talked to said worst talent in the portal of any portal season yet. In fact, I had one coach tell me, we just had 2 scholarships that we needed to fill. Like, they were open. We could take anybody. We didn't have a position in mind. I didn't find 2 guys I liked that much. They took 30 at Carolina. Yeah. And then the last thing is, like, this is not a great staff he has put together. It is a staff of Bill Belichick loyalists. But ask yourself, look around the ACC at the teams who are decent and say how many of them would hire the guy at UNC for the same position on their staff.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure there's any. So, like, add all of that up, and I think Bill Belichick is a very smart man who knows a ton about football, and maybe he learns from this experience. But it felt very much like, hey, I'm going to create my own little fiefdom here in Chapel Hill. And one of the things that I was told is they were given a lot of money, they just don't know how to spend it. And that's kind of probably been true so far.
David Hale from ESPN is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Left unsaid about Colorado was that no matter what you think of him, there was an NFL quarterback on the roster and the Heisman Trophy winner who was the best player at a position on both sides of the ball. North Carolina doesn't have anybody of that ilk at all. We kind of knew going into the offseason that this, turning over your roster, this was not the great year to do it. But I've also looked at this as more of a longer term. Maybe I'm the unicorn here that never thought it would work in year one. I thought they'd win, enough games. I'm not sure that's going to happen now. But I do think that Bill can't be delusional to think that he's got a roster that's good enough to even compete in the ACC as the ACC is. I mean, if they make a bowl game, it'll be a borderline miracle based on what I saw. And I know you put out you tweeted out a chart today of quarterbacks. Max Johnson is the second most efficient quarterback in the league, and Gio Lopez is the last. I mean, I don't think Max Johnson's great, but I know Gio isn't.
Yeah, and I mean, this is part of the look. Again, Bill Belichick is smart enough not to make grand declarations based off of one game or 2 games, or maybe even more. But I think too much of the decision making, because from everybody that I've talked to, which is not a lot because they don't have a very open door policy there, Max Johnson had a very good camp, and obviously knows Carolina pretty well and is a good player. But they invested money in Gio Lopez, and so he was going to start. And just, again, like, so much of this is like Belichick got his guys that he wanted in there, was going to roll with them, and I don't think they're the right guys. But I do think that he is smart and competitive and definitely wants to win and does not want this to be the end of his legacy, the Jordan with the Wizards part of his story. And so I think I'd be surprised if things aren't looking much different next year than they do right now.
Yeah, he may have to play Max Johnson anyway based on injury. But at some point, maybe we also see Bryce Baker, the quarterback who they convinced to stay with his commitment this year after when Mac was fired and Bill came in. Bryce Baker reopened his commitment, and Belichick and company re-won his commitment. So at some point, we might see Bryce Baker. David Hale is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. All right, would you rather be North Carolina or Clemson right now, David?
Well, at least Belichick can say, hey, we'll get them next year. Clemson fans aren't looking forward to next year. And Dabo has done himself no favors by sort of thumbing his nose at, I think, genuinely reasoned criticism. I mean, if anything, the criticism that he's gotten has been more muted than I think a lot of coaches in that situation. Certainly somebody like Kalen DeBoer got for losing one game at Alabama. This is just not – I mean, it's not as bad a team as what we're seeing, but none of what we're seeing looks like a team.
Right.
Like it is – you would have said the first few games, like, yeah, a lot of that's on the quarterback's shoulders or the play calling or, whatever you wanted to blame offensively. It was a defense that stunk against Syracuse. I mean, I'm hesitant to draw too many direct parallels between this year's Clemson and last year's Florida State. But that Venn diagram has some overlap there. And one of those places is the defensive line that, I remember Pete Thamel going on College Game Day before the Week 0 game last year against Georgia Tech and saying that this might be one of the all-time great defensive lines at Florida State. And it turned out they were below average. Right. And the guys who were NFL guys did not play like it. Well, I keep hearing again and again, Peter Woods and TJ Parker and these guys are so great. I don't see it, man. Like, it's not showing up. And I know they have the real talent. Like, I know they have the potential. Like, they're talented players, but it doesn't show up. And so much of this team just looks like it is lost in the wilderness. And the other big area of similarity with Florida State, because I've talked to Mike Norvell about this, is they spent the offseason feeling good about themselves, got punched in the face, struggled again the next week, and suddenly they didn't know how to handle difficulty.
Right.
And there was no resilience within like their larger mindset. And I see a lot of that with Clemson. It just looks like a team that is shell-shocked.
Yeah, I think most people thought, I certainly did, that not that Syracuse was going to be easy, because I think we've seen Syracuse. They look like a pretty competent outfit, and Fran Brown knows what he's doing there. That's a place where, 25 years ago you could win there. I'm not sure you can really win at Syracuse anymore, but I mean, he knows what he's doing. He comes from a place where they did know what they were doing, and I thought he took the game personally going into the game, and they were always going to make life a little bit difficult for Clemson. I'm not saying that North Carolina, by the way, is going to get well against the Tigers this week or next week, but right now, I think if you really challenge them, Clemson's got self-doubts that I never thought that we would see Clemson have as a group, because I think you're right. I mean, Peter Woods and some of these guys are still going to be first-round picks, but doesn't make a difference how many first-round picks you have if the rest of your team isn't also playing well. And right now, they're a collective nothing. I mean, I thought Georgia Tech was better than them at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball a week ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, without question, I think that has been true. And again, what you're seeing is Clemson regress. And I think in both times, like the Georgia Tech game, we knew was going to be like, I picked Georgia Tech, I picked LSU. Like that wasn't shocking. But I think in both the Troy game and the Syracuse game, Clemson was like, all right, now we're going to get it together. And then they didn't. And they were like, whoa. And it is just a team that is not, and I mean, for good reason. This is Clemson we're talking about. It's not a program that's used to having to endure things like this. And some guys get mad. I almost feel like they look more annoyed by the frustration than they are like angry and trying to fix the situation.
David Hale is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I don't know how much of State Duke you caught. The interception right before the end of the first half was a total game changer for me. Although I thought that would be a competitive game. I thought State would win it, but I thought that would be a competitive game. I thought it would be high scoring. We saw, I think, two really good offenses. State just made a bunch of mistakes. What was your takeaway from that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I talked to Manny Diaz leading into the game and about the 1-2 start there. And he said, oddly enough, I think I feel better about this team than I did at the start of the season, despite our record, because I've seen when we don't kill ourselves what we are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a good football team and an offense that can put up points quickly. There are two issues with both of those teams right now, which is they're giving up explosives left and right on the defensive side of the ball. And so you end up with a shootout. And then in a situation like that where both teams can score and neither one is doing a good job of stopping anybody, the team that doesn't make the mistakes is the one that wins. And it had been Duke making the mistakes for the first few weeks, and it was State in this one. I still think they're both, upper middle of the pack, and I think Duke has a chance to probably sneak up and beat some teams that they're maybe not supposed to. But, it's probably ACC every year, but especially this year, there just feels like there is a big, ugly mess of a middle of the pack. And, I mean, look no further than Cal, that we thought was going to be pretty good at 3-0, and lays as big an egg as you will ever see laid at San Diego State, luckily for them, after everybody else had gone to sleep over the weekend. But, I mean, it's just that is indicative of sort of the middle of this ACC pack. I think at any given week, you've got a team that can play with most other pretty good teams, and then the next week go out and look like that.
Yeah, well, 1-6 against the Big 12 doesn't bode well for for next year's ACC football kickoff dissertation from Jim Phillips. I'm sorry, Dr. Jim Phillips. But like I go back to this at the beginning of the season when we're lauding, the non-conference schedule that you play, which to me was wholly unnecessary. Because all it does is convince people that you don't play good football, and they're probably right, top to bottom. But you don't have to. The SEC this year had just 3 teams that will play 10 Power 4 games within the course of a season. Just 3. We had 12. Why? Why do this? If Syracuse doesn't play Tennessee, if Syracuse plays Buffalo to start the season and beats them, they're undefeated right now. Why don't we do that? Why do we have to play? Why does Syracuse have to play Tennessee to start the season? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point, and it's not an incorrect one. I think there's a few things at play here. One is it's sort of like, the people who are like, well, we don't want to tax the rich. We might be rich one day. Well, yeah, but you're probably not going to be if you're not already. So I think there's a little bit of like this hopeful optimism that if we play Tennessee, maybe we beat them. And if we beat them, then people will finally start taking us seriously as the ACC. And the bottom line is, and look, we got ADs in Charlotte today meeting about scheduling and whether they're going to go to 9 conference games or 8+2 model. But either way, they're going to play 10 a year to match the SEC, what the SEC has promised to do. There is this sort of understanding that like, playing yourself, playing within the ACC is not doing anything to change the narrative. Now, to your point, the flip side of that is playing outside the ACC is looting the narrative. But the only way that the image of the ACC changes is to not just play those games, but win those games. Part of the issue, I mean, look, Miami played a very good game and beat Notre Dame and beat Florida and beat USF. Those are good non-conference wins. Clemson, as bad as they look, they played a good game against LSU. Florida State changed a conversation by playing Alabama. But those are all games in which those schools were not out-talented. The problem is this league plays way too many Carolina versus TCU, where TCU was clearly the better team, even if Carolina wasn't a train wreck. Syracuse isn't a train wreck, but Tennessee is clearly the better team, a team that took Georgia to the wire a week ago. So it's not just that they're playing these games, it's that it's sort of like the shortest guy in the bar going and challenging the biggest guy to a fight constantly. Like, it's not the fight that's the problem; it's who you're picking it with.
I feel seen. I'm the shortest guy in the bar. I would only fight like a child. David Hale, ESPN, is joining us here. But and that's really what the stuff that I'm getting at. And because there's no mechanism for playing a good non-conference schedule, look at Penn State's non-conference schedule. Look at Indiana's non-conference schedule. Now, credit to them for just absolutely curb stomping Illinois. That's awesome. But they play nobody outside the league. And at the end of the year, people won't care. They only care about what your record is. So Syracuse won 10 games last year, right? I mean, that also didn't matter, by the way, at the end when Miami with 10 wins missed the playoff when they probably shouldn't have, because that was obviously the last loss of the season. But the only thing that they care about, the general public, is what your record is. Nobody goes back, except when they use it conveniently to try to prove a point. But your non-conference schedule doesn't really matter at any point during the season. All right, is Georgia Tech good enough? We'll close on this, David Hale, because we know Miami and Florida State, by the way, in a week, not this upcoming weekend, but next weekend, they're going to play in prime time, and it's going to be like old time with those two schools, at or near the top of the game. But is Georgia Tech good enough to take advantage of the schedule that is in front of them? They'll be favored in every game, barring injury, until they get to Georgia at the end of the year. Are they good enough to take advantage of it?
I think they are. And now, look, I say this because they have been good enough to play with and beat some very good teams under Brent Key. The problem that they've had is they've also played down to an opponent's level way too frequently. I think they've heard that refrain enough that I am a little more dubious that it'll happen again. But this is also and Brent Key will be the first to tell you this, we're not the most talented team. Mm-hmm. They're going to be favored the rest of the way because of what they've done so far. But there's going to be games where they're not clearly the more talented team in that game. So, yeah, I mean, they have to play their best football, or at least very good football, in order to win those games. They don't get to set the cruise control. And the other thing is exactly what you mentioned, which is staying healthy. It is just hard to watch Haynes King go through a game and not imagine the worst outcome happening. How he survives is sort of beyond me. He's like the Black Knight in Monty Python. He just keeps fighting no matter how many limbs he's lost. But, I mean, again, there is a level of, you can't afford to take your foot off the gas, so you've got to play that way. On the other hand, playing that way is a dangerous game that eventually you're going to roll snake eyes. So, I don't know, I mixed a lot of analogies in there.
It's just a flesh wound. David Hale, ESPN. A David Hale joint on Twitter. Thank you very much for the time, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Pleasure as always.
You got it. David Hale here on the Adam Gold Show. I think I sprained vocal cord trying to – who was the I don't remember which one of Monty Python characters were doing that.
I thought you were talking about, what was it, Bobby Brady, who his voice was changing in the episode.
No. Wow, you went deep cut Brady Bunch.
Heck yeah, I watched TV Land. I grew up with that mess.
Oh, man.
I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, all of them.
Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. I watched them. I watched them all, too.
Yeah.
I mean, not lately, but
no,
I've watched them all, too.
Not recently.
Excuse me. All right, we're going to break. We have to stretch. We have to place bets. I think I got everything wrong. I'm trying. Guess when we come back, the collapse is complete.
Oh, no.
Oh, complete. Next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
Are you taking care of someone on Medicare? Navigating Medicare can be overwhelming. You're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help you figure out what steps to take and when. SHIP counselors can answer your questions. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
We had to exit the home pretty quickly because of how quickly the water came in. It was just really vital to me whenever all the public service announcements were going out, that we needed to get our water tested.
We need to, get in the field and start helping people disinfect their water supplies.
It's really critical to their health to be able to have that safe drinking water.
They were reaching out to me to make sure that I knew that there were resources available.
NC Public Health, everywhere, every day, everyone.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
You've only got so many weekends. Spend one doing something nobody saw coming. Is it a party, a festival, a race? It's all of that, and all at once. Concerts, tailgating, unbelievable action, 100 reasons to say this is actually awesome. It's fast, it's wild. It's the cutoff race in NASCAR's playoffs, the Wild Card Weekend. The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 5th. Get tickets at charlottemotorspeedway.com.
Whether it's helping you work, save, or steer clear from fraud, AARP North Carolina is making sure your money, health, and happiness live as long as you do. Each week, AARP Without Limits meets people and explores topics to help improve how we live and age in North Carolina. You can also learn more about getting the most out of life by listening to AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services is looking for people age 21 or older to volunteer in long-term care facilities. Community Advisory Committee volunteers help residents and their families advocate for the needs of individuals living in long-term care facilities, such as nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and family care homes. Volunteers must complete orientation and training to become designated and certified representatives of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. Visit ncdhhs.gov/contactnc to find your county's ombudsman.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, you're more than a policy, you're family. With offices in every county, we're close by when it matters most. Our local agents customize coverage to fit your life. And our award-winning claims team delivers fast, quality repairs. It's no surprise Forbes ranked us the #1 auto insurer in America. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what are we? What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like.
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. I'm going to place bets in a moment. I think I had the Miami game right. Either way, it doesn't matter. On June 12th, games ending June 12th, Victoria, the Mets were 45-24.
Yes.
It was 21 games over 500. They had best record in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Led the Philadelphia Phillies by 5.5 games in the National League East. Last week, at the beginning of last week, Actually, I think it was on the weekend before last week. The Philadelphia Phillies mathematically clinched the division. Keep in mind, the Mets won the season series from Philly. Mathematically.
Right.
With more than 12 games to play.
Yeah.
Clinched the division.
Which that's a lot. Still having 12 games.
Hard to mathematically do that.
Yes.
Since we woke up June 13th, the Mets are 17 games under 500, and I believe the only 3 teams worse than them are the Rockies.
Oh.
Yeah. The White Sox, who you bet against every day.
All the time.
And the possibly the Twins. Everybody else.
Wow.
Better than the Mets. And unless they run the table.
Wow, even the A's.
Everybody is better than the Mets except for those 3 teams.
Oh.
Unless the Mets, honestly, win probably all 6 of their remaining games, 3 of which are in Chicago against the Cubs starting tomorrow.
Which they've officially given up because they clinched the playoffs, so now they're like, we're good.
We could use some help. And then they play in Florida against the Marlins for the last 3. If they don't go 6-0, if the Reds, the Reds own the tiebreaker, and the Reds right now and the Mets are tied.
Yes, who just finished playing the Cubs, and the Cubs won like 1 game, I think, out of the series.
Reds beat the Mets 4 out of 6 in the season series. Reds are at home to the Pirates. They've been playing out the string for months. And they close at Milwaukee, whose last meaningful baseball game was when?
Right.
So let's just say the Reds do something bad and only win 3. The Mets have to go 4-2, and I'm not sure the Mets have 4 wins in them. It will be, it's a $300 million roster.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Everything's okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's stretch.
Yeah, good old baseball. It'll do that to you. I was wondering if the Reds were going to make it difficult for the Mets. But if you want some kind of distraction, today's the first day of fall. Yay! Nobody can see my hands.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Officially, even though this weekend felt like not fall. But it's officially fall today. And with that, that means it's spooky season. In my world, I love it. I can't wait. Halloween decorations are coming out. So that leads to the next article here, where you can get paid an odd amount of money to watch scary movies. Now, I am someone who likes to watch, quote, scary movies. I'm not much into like the gore and stuff. I like the suspense thriller, psychological type movies. But yeah, these people, they're calling this position, if you will. It's a comparison site called Cable TV, and they're looking for someone to pay to watch, rank, and review horror movies. Now, I think it's called Thrill-turnship. Okay, so it's like internship with thrill instead of. But they say, quote, "This position is not for the faint of heart. We're looking for real fans of fear, enthusiasts of the eerie, and devotees of the dreadful." So they're good. They want to pay you $666.
Really?
What? Yeah, so if you're, that might turn some people away. Yeah. But if you are in for this position, you'll get paid $666 plus $50 of Uber Eats gift card and a 1-year subscription to Screambox, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds like something that I would dig. And applications are open now until October 7th. You must be 18 years or older to do this, and they give you a list of 13 movies. Now, for me, I heard the quote, I saw what they said, not for the faint of heart, devotees of dreadful, got it. But these movies, I'm like, I've already seen like all of them because they've got a list of 13. You have to pick 5.
All right.
So some of these are Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Seen them. Candyman. Seen them. The Evil Dead. Seen it. The Exorcist. I'm assuming the original. Then they've got Get Out, which is a little more recent. Halloween. It. Hereditary. So The Shining. That one was a good one back then.
Oh, yeah.
It's still good. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
See, those things don't do it for me.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I've seen them.
Exorcist, The Shining, the Silence of the Lambs. These are scary,
right,
chilling movies.
Right.
I mean, Friday the 13th, those things, I'm like, those are comedies.
Right. Yes.
To me.
Yes. With creepy looking things.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, love spooky season like me, you can make yourself an odd amount of money, or you could make really good bets like we always do.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right. Shoot.
Okay. So, the football game tonight between the Lions and the Ravens. Give me Lamar Jackson to be an anytime touchdown scorer. I almost said goal scorer because we've got Canes hockey.
Yeah, and I can't bet on it.
I know.
How can you not bet on preseason hockey?
I know, but I'm excited for it. But no, Lamar Jackson, anytime touchdown scorer, plus 165. How is he plus money?
Yeah, there's a lot of minus money in the game.
Yeah.
So I think I also have the over 53.5.
Yes, that's wise.
All right. Remember what Will said about a four-player parlay? Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Montgomery, the running back, and Jamison Williams. If all 4 score a touchdown, it's plus 30.74.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's worth $1.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, well.
It's worth at least $1.
I'm going with the underdog in this one. I think it's going to be super, super, super close, but give me the Lions to win at plus 200.
All right, I'll give you one soccer game. Marseille hosting PSG. I just got a sneaky feeling about Marseille getting it done against PSG today. There's a lot of Ballon d'Or distractions.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, the greatest sports betting app on planet Earth. We've got you covered for Monday Night Football, and how about this? A 50% profit boost token for tonight. Lions, Ravens, Baltimore. Be there or be square. Yeah, I just said that. How about a Derrick Henry touchdown? Minus 205. No, we don't like that. Jahmyr Gibbs, minus 115. Amon-Ra St. Brown, plus 120. Hey, profit boost tokens can be used anywhere. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. Let's play ball. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eichander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The future depends on teachers who are reinventing the classroom and starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
If I'm Mara, the owner of the team, and I have heard all offseason, in preseason, from Brian Dabo, the coach of the Giants, and Joe Shane, the general manager, here is our plan for when Jackson Dart gets in there, and here are the milestones he has to hit. If I'm owning the team, and you're still my coach, you're not allowed to start him yet. You're not changing the plan because Russell Wilson is not good. If you want to play Jameis, play Jameis.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Our friend Sara Civian is going to join us in just a few minutes. 15 to be exact. Canes open up the preseason tonight. I am excited. Lenovo Center. I know it's just a preseason game, but we got stuff to think about tonight. We've got Logan Stankoven at center tonight. We've got Alexander Nikishin theoretically playing top pair minutes, maybe alongside Charles Alexis Legault. So there's enough for us to be excited about, even though it is just a preseason hockey game in which the outcome does not matter a lick. Tonight, Wednesday at Lenovo Center, Friday, Sunday away, Monday, Lenovo Center for the final home preseason game. And then I think they don't play again until Saturday. Like the whole week to kind of digest what we have seen in the first 5 games in, 8 days, 9 days? 8 days. 5 games in 8 days. Good thing you've got a big roster at this point. And Hurricanes going with very few NHL players. Tyson Jost will play tonight, though. So I loved every time he played last year for Carolina. I love Tyson Jost.
Yeah, he's spicy.
So he's a good player, and he'll he's essentially he's an extra NHL player. Whether he hangs around here during the season or he goes and plays in Chicago, he's an extra NHL player. But he's somebody you can plug in. He can play center. He'll play center tonight, I'm sure, or he can play either wing. All right, Sara Civian will join us in less than 15 minutes, but we are going to give you a little hockey feel in the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
I get chills, also sometimes jumpy when Rod Brind'Amour gives one of his speeches, because Rod does not stand still.
He does not, ever.
For somebody who doesn't drink coffee.
I know.
Right? Anyway, here's Rod Brind'Amour in his pre-training camp speech.
It's an honor for me to be in front of you. I was thinking about this as I was coming up here. It's going on 8 years now. It's a privilege to be along for the journey that we're getting to start. Started today, but on the ice tomorrow. So you guys that have been here, you should know what I'm saying before I say it. If I've done my job. Why? Because it's not just words, right? The words have come to life. They're in your blood. And for the new guys that are in here, it is just going to be, and it's up to us, and I keep pointing to you, your front row, appreciate it, to make sure the new guys that are in this room learn quickly that it's not just fluff and it's not just words, and it means something. So, what's the expectation? Easy, right? We're here as an organization. I love that the room that seems to keep growing is on the outside. We keep getting bigger and bigger, more and more people to help us. But it's the expectation is to be what? The best team possible. Not just possible, on the planet. That's our goal right now. That's what the expectation is. So that's the easy part. How to do it. How are we going to do it? That just goes by our identity, and I'm going to get into that. We got 3 races to run in this journey. And I haven't talked about this really much, a little bit. We got a 2-week race right now. 2-week race. It's a training camp race. And it's trying to figure out the bus. Trying to figure out whose seat, where the seats fit on the bus, and how we get this thing streamlined so that it hums when we get down the road. That's what the training camp's about, figuring that out. And then we're going to hit, and this is what we talked about before, we're going to hit that marathon race. And by the way, it's the same distance for every team. Every team's going to be lined up in 2 weeks going, hey, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. And we got to get down there, and it's the same distance. If I tell you today after this meeting that I'm going to Wrightsville Beach, I'm taking I-40. It's the most direct way. I know it. Done it 1,000 times. I don't even need a GPS, right? That's what you guys have done. We know the way. We know how to get to here to there. It doesn't just happen. We got to take each step along the way. So when we line up for that race after this training camp, 2-week session, that's the middle race. It's a marathon. But you got to take each step. But we got to live for today. We make every day that we're together and apart and on the bus count.
The third race is, of course, what happens after the marathon. I'm ready. I'm ready for the start of the season. All right, tonight, Hurricanes, Tampa Bay Lightning at Lenovo Center. Not a ton, really to take away or going into the game, but Rod says it all matters.
Yeah, it's really important. It's all. Don't have a lot of our veteran guys in the game, but it's important for everybody to just see what they're about. We do know most of the guys, but a couple new guys, a couple guys trying to fight for a spot, and we talked about it yesterday. So, this is where you start to build.
The guys who are fighting for spots, realistically speaking, it's going to be hard to see anybody making the group at a training camp that we don't expect. Just no spots. But until today, we hadn't seen Jacob Slavin practice. I think he practiced today. But Slavin, Chatfield, Miller all didn't practice yesterday. What if one of them or multiple of them don't make the opening night lineup? There's a spot possibly for Charles Alexis Legault, who will play tonight. And what if Bradley Nadeau has a training camp reminiscent of Jackson Blake a year ago? There's somebody who could play his way onto the roster and into the lineup. Now, there's not a ton going on tonight. There's only a handful of guys we're really going to be paying attention to. But one of them is Alexander Nikishin. Bradley Nadeau, as I mentioned. And Nikishin might end up getting power play time during the course of the season He'll definitely get it tonight. Will Rod relish that?
Well, I'd like to have a couple power plays. No, I don't. If I don't have any to kill, that'd be great. But just to get the reps in, we do have, one group that's probably going to be close to a power play group. So trying to figure that out and where they fit the pieces and stuff. So anytime we get a couple reps, it would be good.
I am fascinated. I cannot wait to get there. Stormwatch, by the way, will start at 6:30. We're here. First of 113 interviews with Rod Brind'Amour starting today.
Can't wait.
113. Unless they go 7 games in all 4 series. All right, Bill Belichick, North Carolina head coach, head counselor, I don't know, on his offense not clicking.
We scored points the last 2 weeks. We, had trouble doing it today. So,
are there any specifics that you like about what he's doing?
Yeah, look, offense is a team. Football is a team sport. There's 11 guys out there. It's not. I'm not talking about one guy. It's 11 guys that have to operate efficiently. And times we've done that, and times we haven't. Today wasn't one of our better ones.
No, but might have something to do with the fact that the other team just had better players. I mean, you beat Richmond and Charlotte. Those are two very, very, they're not at your level. Central Florida, theoretically, is at your level, only they've got better players. All right, final thing. Dave Canales, the head coach of your Carolina Panthers, who are now 1-2, and he liked the way it looked even better in the second half.
That's the vision that I have for our team, to play together, to play great defense, win first down, win 1st and 10 by knocking the run out and giving us an ability to balance things out, to look at the run game, to evaluate what passes do we have off of it in the play action game, and also just being able to spread it out and find completions. That whole balance right there, it makes you a really solid, well-rounded offense, but it's all phases, right? It's field position with the special teams, and what a great job Ryan did of pinning them back pretty deeply on some kickoffs, getting the ball on the ground, and then the defense giving us good fields to work with. So it all ties in together, and I was so happy to see, all 3 phases play that way.
Yeah, the kickoff team might be the best part of this team. I mean, it's a weapon, right?
Yeah.
If you can get teams to start in bad field position, at least that's a good thing.
It's better than nothing.
And they're 1-2, so we're not going to find fault. All right, Sara Civian, Canes Lightning tonight. The season is upon us. We'll talk to Sara Civian next.
Talking sports, so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts, or watch on YouTube.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is Dr. Craig McGiffin with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Did you know, according to research, a majority of people gain their weight back after stopping those expensive weight loss shots? Don't become another statistic. Our doctor-developed program doesn't just help you lose weight, it helps you keep it off for good. We've helped over 70,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks and maintain their results long-term. No more yo-yo dieting or weight regain. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here from 99.9 The Fan. For my good friends like Dr. Craig over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, I've been with the program for almost 2 months now, and I've lost over 35 pounds, approaching 40 pounds down, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. My clothes fit better. I'm sleeping a lot better. I have a lot more energy thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Visit them online, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, or give them a call, 919-897-7506. Again, 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use this directed.
All of us have a role to play in promoting a mental health-friendly workplace. Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
This is Adam Gold.
The American Cornhole League. I don't know if you can wager on it. I mean, just go to FanDuel and find out if you can wager on it.
I think I read you can get a scholarship. Kids in high school can actually get scholarships for cornholing. Who knows? I don't know what the technical term is.
I'm just not going to say anything.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Very old school feel to today's bump selections from Victoria. I look forward to the playlist at the end. You're going to put that out, right? I want to see it. I want to see the playlist at the end of this show.
Yes, I know. This is all for, you may have said it, but I'm ready for hockey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent our next guest, the one and only Sara Civian, from the Civ Report, Too Many Men, the podcast, Bleacher Report. She's everywhere. I sent her a text about 2 weeks ago. I'm jonesing to talk hockey. She was otherwise busy, which is fine. She said, but you should talk hockey anyway. So I did. And Sara Civian is now with us on the Adam Gold Show because we get our first game tonight. We'll get a chance to look at Logan Stankoven at center tonight, among other things. How are you?
Yeah, you're welcome, people listening to this. I'm still pushing the hockey narrative in Raleigh over there, but I'm great. How are you, Adam?
I could not be more excited for the start of this. I want to start. I know you recently caught up with our old friend, Brett Pesce, who, by the way, they've already announced will have a New Jersey Devils bobblehead night this year. I want to get my hands on one of those. Even though I'm not a Devils fan, I'm a Brett Pesce fan, and I always will be. What was your conversation with Brett like?
Aren't we all a Brett Pesce fan? It was great. Yeah, both of us love talking to him because he's real. He's analytical about the game in a way you might not picture before you talk to him. But if you ask a good question, you'll get a good answer. It was hilarious. We all remember his dad, who was a great fan on Twitter, and his dad called in the middle, and we almost did like a three-way call because he wanted to chat. But he is great. I mean, we discussed, obviously it was hard with, oh my God, the Devils blue line last year. We all saw that firsthand because they played the right? Just like Brian Dumoulin is playing 30 minutes per game in the playoffs. It was rough. He was just describing how he'd never been in like an injury situation like that. I mean, some players to look out for the Devils, but also his moment in the handshake line with Rod Brind'Amour, and he really touched on how Rod is a lifelong friend. I love that he said friend, not just a great coach. Like, that's somebody that he'd been with. I mean, obviously Rod was an assistant coach when Pesci was even coming up too, so it was just kind of years of those two together, and it was nice to hear that, like, how fondly he spoke of him.
I may have told you this offline, but I mentioned it on the air because I referred to that. I think I did it. I might have been in one of the podcasts I've just done recently. When that series was over, Pesci was the only reason the Devils were competitive, in my opinion. He might have been the best player in the entire series, regardless of the team. And I sent him a text afterwards, and Brett and I have always had a pretty good relationship. Not that we hang out or anything, but we did text periodically throughout the summers. And I sent him a text. Just, it was an honor to watch you go, to watch you do your thing, because you were awesome. And we had a quick back and forth, and he said go chase the chip and all that. But man, I miss the hell out of Brett Pesci, like especially as you get into the season, because he was always so cool and smart. To pick his brain about what he sees. I refer all the time, Carolina will be in this position this year. 5 of their top 7 defensemen play left side. They're all lefties. They have 2 righties, just Chatfield and Sean Walker. And Brett, in that first year, which you were there for when they made the playoffs, he had to play the left side with Justin Falk on the right side. And he told me there's a lot of things about playing your offside that make it easier. So I've never thought it was a hindrance, even though the head coach likes lefties and righties. He's not going to be able to do it this year. But man, I don't want to make this all about Brett Pesci, but your piece was great, and people should check it out. They should also download the Civ Report. So Logan Stankoven at center. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, why not, right? The one good thing about the preseason, if I will, is basically getting to put players in positions and see, all right, do we have something here? And it doesn't mean, I feel like people get caught up in the permanence. It's not permanent, right? Like maybe they do have something, maybe they don't. Maybe they won't start off the regular season with him as center and they'll move later. It's such a good resource to see what you have if maybe someone's to get hurt, maybe someone's underperforming, right? I like it. I think we're just seeing the beginning, and everybody who has watched him from before when he was on the Stars too kind of says that. I think that was one of the best deals of any team of the offseason, what they were able to sign him for and his trajectory. So, hey, maybe turn it into a center and see what happens.
They certainly need a right shot center. We'll see how he handles that. So to me, even though it's the only NHL line and nobody really cares what what happens in a preseason game, we want health. But there are some fact-finding missions for people like me who are observers of this team on a day-in, day-out basis. I want to see how Logan handles the middle. I also want to see how Alexander Nikishin handles what probably will be a pretty substantial workload tonight. Maybe even top power play unit quarterbacking situation for this kid. We saw him in the playoffs. There were some good. There was some not so good. He's eager. He's big. How do you convince people to temper expectations, though?
You don't with these maniacs. I don't know if we'll need to. I think we'll wait and see. I'm a little excited too, and I'm usually a temperer of expectations, I feel, but I'm going to let people enjoy this one. I think he's a unique prototype, right, where you have he's big, but he's fast, and he can kind of be pretty versatile. So I am excited to see kind of a unique, you don't see that every day, and maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just, you don't see that, especially on the Canes, quite often. So I'd like to see where he fits in exactly. And, don't worry about the points he scores or doesn't. That's how I temper expectations. Worry about the time on ice he's getting. I think if he gets a lot, that's a good sign for if he'll end up in a position people want him to for the regular season. And I'd say pay attention to kind of his play away from the puck.
Yeah, he which was a little bit spotty. in the playoffs. But again, man, in the playoffs, you haven't played any games in the NHL, and you play one game against the Capitals. It's not great, but you got through it. And then against Florida, and I will talk about them before we let Sara Civian go. But Florida's just a different beast, especially in the playoffs. Let me ask you about the division, because I talked about this the other night, in that I think it's pretty across the board that Carolina and New Jersey are the two best teams in the Metro. But because of the rules, it's got to be a third team in the playoffs. What do you see as the other? I mean, it could be a team that wins the division like Washington did a year ago. But who do you think is the third team from the Metro?
I immediately gut came to mind the Rangers. I just feel I don't love that. I'm confused, right? Because it can be so high event where like there's so many changes that it could keep getting worse, like a la the Nashville Predators, or it could turn it around. I think with somebody like Mike Sullivan, that's an absolute pro. They're going to turn it around. And then you have the structural differences on defense, which was the worst part of their season last season. Watching that was horrendous. So they kind of completely changed to that. I'm curious to see how that goes. Obviously, there were a lot of off seasons from those core players. So it's like that all happened at once, which is partially bad luck, partially like the drama and the tension going on in the locker room. But they kind of got rid of some of the bad vibes, and it's not like everyone's going to have their worst season again, right? So I feel like there's just going to be a bounce back there.
Yeah, I mean, that was my pick for the third team, but it really is a two-line team that is incredibly dependent on an effective power play, because last year they were below the league average. We saw what happened to goals. Ultimately, Chris Kreider, who was a big part of the good part of the power play, is in Anaheim now, but man, I'm just not sure that they've got enough firepower in the bottom six to make it click if they don't have a great power play. They still have Igor Shesterkin, though, which sometimes is enough. What do you make of the Islanders? Matthew, I've heard enough discussion about Matthew Schaefer being all that quickly. If he is like really, really good early on, could that be a surprise team?
Yeah. I mean, one good season with Sorokin, and Matt Barzal's back and he's healthy and he's starting out center. Just if Sorokin is on, Barzal stays healthy and has maybe a career year, Schaefer's all that in a bag of chips, a bag of dressed chips, if you will. I would like to, I mean, it's not like I want them to be bad, right? Of course, it's a comical. They open up the preseason with another shootout loss. I don't want to see any more of that. I want to see some decisiveness. But I mean, it was kind of a down year for Sorokin last year. Yeah. A good one might change things. They could make some noise, and it's always, I don't know, it's tough because like they trade away Brock Nelson, right? They had to, but then they make other improvements, and obviously Schaefer's here, and he looked really fast in that preseason game. I know it's just the preseason, but definitely I have my eye on them.
Yeah, for me, it's the Rangers, the Islanders, and Columbus. If Columbus can figure out goaltending, I like them a lot. I think they're deeper in their forward group. Zach Werenski is one of the best in the business, and I think they have enough there. I just don't know about their goaltending. I texted a friend of mine who said he actually picked Washington to win the division again. And I'm like, everybody had a career year. The only guy who didn't was the guy who didn't need to, Ovechkin. Everybody had career highs in goals, points, and shooting percentage. Everybody. Even Logan Thompson had a career year. I just don't see all of that happening again.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think they're going to draw. I think Ovechkin perhaps last year could be a spectacle. He loves to play the game of hockey, and we all thought this narrative that maybe the team wouldn't care or that he'd stop caring or whatever once he broke the goal scoring record, but then he just kept scoring more goals. Like, the guy just loves to score. So I'm not going to count them out of the conversation, but it does seem like the Islanders could have a more complete team. But I'm with you on that, where I think they're going to take a step back. But then again, I mean, Dylan Strome looked great
Yep.
as a cap. And you have kind of some of their younger guys moving up the pipeline. I loved Connor McMichael's playoff series. I loved his season, right? So if he can kind of provide that depth, they might be interesting.
Yeah, no, Protas had, 30 even strength. He had no power play goals. So how do you score 30 and have none on the power play? Sara Civian, before I let you go, Seth Jarvis, another year, another time where he is like the media darling for he was one of the stars of the NHL player media sessions out in Vegas. Well, I'd just say I'll play word association with Seth. Your thoughts?
Word association? Do you just one word that comes to mind?
You could say anything you want. No, you don't have to give me one word. I have more time than that, so up to you.
That reminded me of when I asked Rod Brind'Amour to describe Jordan Staal, and he said no. So that actually was hard, so I'll give him that. I just think he's just a gem, right? I think he's been such a huge reason. That's just like a homegrown dream. You know what I mean? And it's such a great moment where you can see Rod Brind'Amour put him on the team, right? Like he forced his way onto the team. And that's why you should look at the lens of preseason. Is there a guy forcing their way, making the coach say, all right, I have to get this guy to make the team? He's just been great ever since, right? And I think he's growing into his own more and more. And it's exciting to watch. And even last year, he took maybe more of a leadership role, just kind of making things happen when nobody else was. So love to see that.
Oh, he's tremendous. I know, it was great to see him at Four Nations. It was not great to see him healthy extra in one of the games, but he played the gold medal game and he got his gold, and I hope he makes the Olympic team. I know we're going to see Jacob Slavin, given health, all these guys. Slavin will be on that Olympic team. It's just going to be an incredible year of hockey. The Civ Report, get it. Where else can we find you other than on Twitter at Sara Civ?
Yeah, Instagram there too. But yeah, Substack, the Civ Report, doing WNBA stuff. If
I
anyone's
know.
into that, Rivers, just daily, the live show. You can click it on it on Twitter. Bleacher Report. And if anyone else wants to hire me too, reach out.
All right, we know where to find you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. All the best. I'll talk to you very, 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 very soon.
Always a pleasure. Please do. See you later.
You got it. Sara Civian here on the Adam Gold Show. Fired up for hockey tonight. Canes and the Lightning. Nikishin, Legault, Nadeau, Stankoven, Blake, Hall. It's going to be fun. Storm Watch, by the way, in 4 hours exactly from right now, if you are interested. When we come back, I am super interested in what's going on Long Island starting Friday. Ryder Cup week. Shane Ryan of Golf Digest joins us next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And FanDuel is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, yards, touchdowns, money lines. Anything can be your play of the game. And FanDuel is giving all customers a 50% profit boost token tonight on the Lions and Ravens. Heck of a game. So, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown? Sure. Lamar Jackson, touchdown passes, rushing yards, passing yards, everything. Amon-Ra St. Brown's amazing. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. Have fun. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
You've only got so many weekends. Spend one doing something nobody saw coming. Is it a party, a festival, a race? It's all of that, and all at once. Concerts, tailgating, unbelievable action, 100 reasons to say this is actually awesome. It's fast, it's wild. It's the cutoff race in NASCAR's playoffs, the Wild Card Weekend. The Bank of America Roval 400, Sunday, October 5th. Get tickets at charlottemotorspeedway.com.
Whether it's helping you work, save, or steer clear from fraud, AARP North Carolina is making sure your money, health, and happiness live as long as you do. Each week, AARP Without Limits meets people and explores topics to help improve how we live and age in North Carolina. You can also learn more about getting the most out of life by listening to AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
As a school nurse, I feel like we're really that contact for the schools between the Department of Public Health and what goes on in the school system.
The face of the Department of Public Health in our school is our nurse, Nurse Emma. All the communication that she was receiving and direction she was receiving, she made sure to communicate with us and be a wonderful partner with us.
These kids need their routines.
NC Public Health. Everywhere. Every day. Everyone.
Are you taking care of someone on Medicare? Navigating Medicare can be overwhelming. You're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help you figure out what steps to take and when. SHIP counselors can answer your questions. Visit ncship.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
For North Carolina high school seniors, the countdown to college is on. And at CFNC, we've got all the resources and information needed to get you on campus next year. Take College Application Week, for example. Did you know you can apply for free at many North Carolina colleges from October 20th through October 26th? Sure can. Don't miss the opportunity to save some money applying to college. And for more help, visit cfnc.org/C2C.
Now, all across North Carolina, it's Carolina Newsmakers. Each week, leaders from politics, education, business, and the arts join Don Curtis to share insights and ideas shaping our state. Listen on radio stations throughout North Carolina and on demand at carolinanewsmakers.com. Carolina Newsmakers is presented in part by the North Carolina Academy of Family Physicians, advancing family medicine in North Carolina since 1947.
This is Adam Gold.
The American Cornhole League. I don't know if you can wager on it. I mean, just go to FanDuel and find out if you can wager on it.
I think I read you can get a scholarship. Kids in high school can actually get scholarships for cornholing. Who knows? I don't know what the technical term
I'm just not going to say anything.
The Adam Gold Show.
Shane Ryan, Golf Digest, on his way to Bethpage Black for the Ryder Cup coming up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Author of The Cup They Couldn't Lose going into Whistling Straits. Also, I like to promote this for you, Shane. Ryder Cup Run, that podcast you do, I still go back and listen to the first episode you did, talking about Glenn Eagles and Paul McGinley as the captain for the European side, because I think it gives so much insight into how captains can really influence things. So let's dig into it. Before we get to the captain, you're a huge believer in home course, meaning maybe being the most pivotal reason why the United States may win. Why?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing, Adam, is just the recent history, right? So we've had now 5 Ryder Cups in a row where the home team has won in a blowout.
Yeah.
And if you go back to 6, the U.S. should have won 2012 in a blowout. They had kind of a weird Sunday, but they were on pace for a blowout. So in my mind, it's that 6 straight years where, especially in the pairs matches, things have just really gone to the home team by an incredible margin. So it's at the point now. Look, when I was in Rome, I talked myself into, well, Zach Johnson's assistant captain. You know, everything they've done since the task force has led to him. It led to this team, you know, being really experienced. And I think the road team is finally going to win one. And, you know, within 2 hours of that Ryder Cup beginning, it was over. It was clear that this was a fantasy in my mind. That was absolutely wrong.
Right.
so this is, so we're just going on. I'm at the point now where, after a decade of this, I can no longer respect myself and still say that I think the road team will win. And so they've got to prove me wrong. And this might be, look, if you're ever going to convince yourself a road team is going to win, it's this European team, right? They
Right.
have all the ingredients. They have a captain coming back, which is such a brilliant move. It's never been done before, really, who's very successful. They've got almost all the same players. The only difference is one twin brother instead of the other. And they're good. And they're all very good.
Yeah.
But the U.S. is good, too. And I just keep coming back to, I'll believe it when I see it, that a road team can win.
Shane Ryan is joining us here. Golf Digest at Shane Ryan here on Twitter. Real quick about that 2012 collapse at Medina. Davis Love was the captain. They brought him back 4 years later in 2016, which I thought was the right decision. I have no idea why you wouldn't have repeat captains. And Europe did it for a while. They did it with Tony Jacklin. They did it with Bernard Gallagher. And now they're doing it with Luke Donald. I get it. It shouldn't be necessarily ceremonial because this competition has become it's a major. It's no longer an exhibition. It's no longer what it was 60 years ago, which was an annual beatdown of the United States over Great Britain and Ireland. It is now a major. It's the fifth major, really. That might have been a title of another book. Shane Ryan is joining us here. But going back to that 2012, that collapse really started Saturday evening in the afternoon sessions. Keegan Bradley, who's the captain of the U.S. team, he and Phil Mickelson were rolling that week, and they didn't go out for the afternoon sessions. And I don't know if that really mattered, but Europe won the last two sessions. Ian Poulter made, 100 feet of putts in the last 4 holes. And turn that match around and maybe turn the momentum around. And not even Rory McIlroy showing up almost late for his tee time derailed it.
Yeah. It's funny looking back at it because the U.S. did have a 10-6 lead, which, as we know twice from 2 examples, is not insurmountable, but pretty insurmountable, right? I mean, it's getting close to insurmountable. And so you look back and, the Keegan Bradley and Phil decision, a lot of people fixate on. And I get it. I think there's got to be room to adjust when you got a pair that's just so hot. But he had a plan in place, and that plan was to play nobody 4 times over the first 4 sessions. And so I don't have a problem with that. I think the big mistake he made was this concept of loading the boat, which means on Sunday singles, putting your best players in the first spots. Now, if you're trailing big, you want to do that because, like we saw at Brookline, and again, like we saw at Medina, you want to establish momentum early, give yourself some hope, give yourself the idea that we could make this big comeback. If you're winning big, you want to do that to counteract that, right? You don't want the other team to get that momentum, so you've got to load the boat too and put your best players forward. And Davis Love simply didn't do that. And it was funny because he talked to me about when I was researching my Ryder Cup book, I asked him about that Sunday, and he said he was sitting down with Darren Clark at the end of that on Sunday night. And Darren Clark said to him, you knew we were going to do it. Why didn't you do it? And it just had not occurred to him. And so that was something that Davis Love had a spectacular captaincy until that one decision. And even making that one decision, most of the time you're going to be fine statistically, right? You're up so big. You've done such a good job. He just happened to run into the 1 out of 50 result that because he made that mistake, it gave them that slight hope. Everything went their way. As you said, Justin Rose and Ian Poulter, he couldn't miss from 40 feet. And so, and they ended up losing. But again, they learned a lot from that. And Davis Love, I thought, was an excellent captain then. He was an excellent captain at Hazeltine when he learned from his mistakes and he didn't make them again and they won. All of which leads to this year when they seem to have thrown everything they've learned away and taken the captain out of nowhere. But, Keegan Bradley sounds like he's doing a good job. So there's a lot to look forward to at Bethpage and a lot of questions that are going to be answered, I think, for us.
I mean, but we won't know if he's done a good job until the United States goes out and plays well. And there are a lot of theories like, the analytics of selecting players, choosing partnerships and foursomes and four-ball. Ben Griffin, who I love, he's the only player who plays a max fly ball. I didn't realize that there were any pros playing if Freddie Couples isn't playing a max fly, which he used to play a long time ago. I didn't think anybody else is playing it now, but Ben Griffin does. So, do you pair him can you pair him in foursomes because he plays a ball that is so different from anybody else? The preparation factor, Does any of it really matter, or are we just trying to grasp at reasons why Europe has won 10 of the last 14?
Yeah, I think all that stuff kind of factors in. There's an interesting stat that we kind of explored this year a little bit, which is that if you go back to 2012, the percentage for the home team in four-ball and singles combined, so these two formats that make up, 75% of the Ryder Cup, the home team advantage is 52%. So it is nearly a coin flip. They have a very slight edge to the home team. In foursomes, that percentage is 78%. And so you look at that and you go, holy cow. So everything we thought about the home course advantage, really it's coming down to this one format where the home team keeps winning 3-1, 4-0. And there's a million examples of it, right? In Rome, of course, they won 4-0 in the very first session. That was foursomes. And so there are these things that matter. And, foursomes is one that can be influenced by the stats guys quite a bit. So there may be a little bit of that happening. But ultimately, what you're hinting at in your question is, I think a lot of this stuff matters, but it's very mysterious. And you can come up with theories and you can look at history and say, well, the home team has won 5 times. But ultimately, while you can talk about this and come up with what seem like good ideas, it's also imperative to keep in mind we are dealing with an extremely small sample size, even when looking at a decade of play, right? A decade of play, you're looking at a very small sample size of matches and trying to reach conclusions from them. And so that's kind of what makes it fun. It's like I studied a lot. I think I know what I'm talking about. But someone can come in and say, you're an idiot. It's the captains don't matter. And I can't prove it, right? It has to be sort of an article of faith and looking at the history and all that kind of stuff. But it is what makes the Ryder Cup so much fun.
Shane Ryan is joining us here from Golf Digest, at Shane Ryan here. To me, I think it's about channeling emotion and seizing upon, golf for me is about tension. Whoever has less of it in their bodies, in their muscles, is probably going to play better. And sometimes that's just, a shot that goes your way, or I go back to 93. This might be before you were born, Shane. John Cook and Chip Beck played Nick Faldo and Colin Montgomery in a 4-ball match in the afternoon session. Faldo and Montgomery, the two greatest Ryder Cup players ever. I mean, all respect to Seve Ballesteros in terms of points and matches and all that. And Beck and Cook won that match. And to me, that's where it just flipped. And they were able to channel their emotion positively, because at the end of the day, there's not a lot in between the best player there and the worst player there. They're all world-class players who are capable of shooting 64 in any given round. So yeah, I almost toss away the analytics of it all, and whoever's freed up, I just think that's the way to win it.
I think you're right, and I think a great example would be Scotty Scheffler in Rome with Brooks Koepka losing 9 and 7.
Oh my gosh, yes!
How on earth did that happen? This is the best player in the world, the best player we've seen in ages, and then he's there crying after the match on the sidelines because he was beaten so badly. So things like that can happen. Again, these are very small sample sizes. So yeah, I agree with you. And the thing I would add is that the home crowd, and this is again what I keep going back to is my best guess, the determining factor, heightens the tension if you're an away player. The fact that you're getting heckled by these guys, that even when you're not getting heckled, it's very clear that all the roars are for the other team. It puts pressure on you, and it increases tension within you and factors into that thing you were talking about. And what I always say is that unlike any other sport where you're constantly playing home and away, golfers do not have a chance to get used to away matches because they don't play them. They play them once every 2 years if you make a Ryder Cup team. Yeah. And so there is not any kind of acclimation to it. It's just once every 2 years. Here, go out in this arena, and it's like a Christian being thrown out against the Lions in a Roman Coliseum, and you go, good luck, right? It's very, very, very difficult. I mean, it's something you're not used to, you're not prepared for, no matter what. And you hear things like, the Europeans understand how big this is. They've got VR headsets on that they're wearing, trying to manufacture crowd noise to prepare for this. I mean, it sounds kind of comical, but you think, actually, that's kind of a good idea. It certainly can't hurt. But that just gives you an example of Luke Donald is not any kind of extravagant person. The Europeans are very organized. If they think it's that important that they want to put helmets on these guys with people with Long Island accents screaming at them, you know it matters, right? This is something that they are worried about and that they're trying to combat in any way they can. And I think, again, of all the factors I go in, I just keep looking at this as the really, really decisive factor.
All right, I'm going to throw one more thing at you, and it will lead us to Bryson DeChambeau. I have to assume that Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay will be a pair, even though it has not been a great year for either of them. They're really good in foursomes. I expect to see them playing together in the morning. But in 2004, Hal Sutton sent out Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson twice in 4-balls and then in foursomes on the first day. They got beat both times. There has been a lot of sentiment that we should have Bryson DeChambeau hit the first tee shot because it's actually they moved the tees a little bit, and it is somewhat, almost a drivable green on the first hole. It's still a long shot, but Bryson is the one who might go for it. Is that a wise decision, or can it also backfire and go the other way?
So any decision you make can backfire and go the other way, but I don't like the mentality of playing scared. And so when you bring up that Phil and Tiger thing, the idea is that, okay, you put these two great players together, but when you're beat them, that's a huge triumph for them. And you essentially just accidentally put a target on your back and gave them something to aim for, right? Yeah. And so the theory would be, well, don't do that. Don't give them – but no, at some point you've got to put your best players out in the important positions and let them go. Now, what you look at is Hal Sutton didn't prepare these guys for this. He decided a day before that he was going to do it. They didn't have the same balls. Phil had just changed his equipment.
Yeah.
Everything possible that could have been, you could label as poor preparation, you can say that this happened. So he didn't put them in a position to win. He just was making this he had this idea in his head of what a dramatic coup would be, and he set himself up for failure. If you can if you can put Bryson out there and say, this is what it's going to be like, this is what we want you to do, do you feel comfortable with it, and get it out ahead of time, let your best guys – at some point your best guys have got to deliver, right? You can't sit them on the bench. You've got to put them out there, and it can be a huge bonus for you, right? Imagine – go back to Whistling Straits when Bryson, I think, had one of the first shots in singles, and he drove the green, and he made an eagle, and it absolutely put the Europeans away within minutes of Sunday starting.
Yeah.
If they weren't already dead. It was so it can work out. It can really work out, and you've got to take your chances, I think. It's all about the preparation and putting people in positions to succeed.
I remember tweeting after DeChambeau drove the green, regardless of what happened after. I'm like, it's over. That right there ended the Ryder Cup. I hope you write a book based on this one. Shane Ryan, at Shane Ryan here on Twitter, Golf Digest. Enjoy Bethpage, man. It's going to be scenes, total scenes in New York.
All right, Adam, thanks. Yeah, we'll report back to you on fan behavior and tactics and everything else. It's going to be good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm fired up. I hope people are as well. Hope my enthusiasm, maybe it rubs off on you. Got a text from a friend as he's listening to that. Who says, golf I actually watch other than Tiger. And since Tiger doesn't play anymore, this is it. Every other year. It's the only time my buddy Ken watches golf. It should be fun. Couple of things from the NFL weekend. Obviously, Panthers feeling great coming off a 30-0 win over Atlanta. If we're being honest, I'm not saying it was more what Atlanta was incapable of doing, looking competent, than it was Carolina. Carolina had a role in that. But they didn't have to be great offensively. They put up less than 250 yards of offense. They did what they had to do, right? The kicker was great. Fitzgerald was excellent in all aspects of his job, not only the point scoring, but also the kickoffs were really good. Defense played well in terms of, without getting, they didn't really shut down the run, but they were good enough. And frankly, isn't that all we're asking the Panthers to be, is good enough defensively?
Yeah.
Theoretically, the offense should be better than it's been. Maybe a game like this allows them to take another step. So good for them. Tampa beat the Jets yesterday in a weird kind of way. They're leading 26-20. They were really comfortably in front for most of the game. They're leading 26-20. They're lining up to kick a field goal to go up by 9. The Jets block the field goal, run it back for a touchdown, kick the extra point, and suddenly with like a minute 45 left, the Jets lead 27-26. And then for the third consecutive game, Baker Mayfield leads a game-winning drive. They kick a field goal. They beat the Jets 29-27, I think the final score was. And afterwards, Baker Mayfield calls out Steve Wilks because Steve Wilks was the head coach. Of course, he was an interim when they decided to cut Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Look, Baker wasn't playing well. The team was going to demote him, play P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold, and gave Baker Mayfield the option. We'll waive you if you want to go somewhere else. So they gave him the option.
Yeah.
And he went to the Rams.
And he took it.
Didn't go well there either. Will he be mad if the Buccaneers play the Rams?
Right.
At Sean McVay?
I'd be curious.
Look, this kind of stuff doesn't bother me a bit. Baker Mayfield had a shoulder injury the year before Carolina acquired him. Carolina was bad. Baker wasn't good enough. He looked bad. And now, 4 years later? Right? Is it 4 years later, basically? Now Baker Mayfield is looking like the first overall pick.
Yeah.
From that draft.
Just took some time.
It took a while. Is this the lesson that everybody needs to see about quarterbacks in the NFL? Is the lesson C.J. Stroud unable to win a game? Are the Texans not 0-3?
Right.
Bryce Young has a better record. Where are all the Bryce haters? We should have drafted C.J. Young. Wait a second. Look, it's a long race. None of these guys look good. Michael Penix, who last week my timeline was filled with people. Penix is better than Young. He might be. The guy we watched yesterday wasn't very good.
Nope.
J.J. McCarthy wasn't very good when he was playing. He had one good quarter. Drake May hasn't been good. It's hard. It's hard to play quarterback in the league. It's hard to play quarterback in the league when you're not trained in college to play quarterback in the league, and when you get to the league and they don't give you time. The Jackson Dart narrative from yesterday was the most maddening thing to listen to for however long that game went. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Victoria,